Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Three guys and no bear. Or maybe Bear is here. And I guess here's Coach Crendor. Do. Is Bear here?
He'll be here.
Is he? Why?
It sounded. Someone butted in there. It sounded like
me.
Bear, and I wasn't. I really was
me. I did the old like muffled. The old muffle. I might have did it. Threw you off.
He muffled you. He yeah.
Well, I mean, because I never look at the Discord window, and I don't have notifications on when someone joins, so I thought Bear just came out of nowhere.
It's me, Bear.
Hey, this is me, Bear Taffy.
Bear does not sound like that.
I'm Bear Taffy right here, did he?
Well,
That's exactly what he sounds like. I'm Bear Taffy. Hello.
It's welcome. Like old 1920s train villain. I tied you up to this train and you'll never get away.
I'm going to derail this train, I tell you what, right now.
I mean, he does got the twirly mustache, right?
He does. That's true.
That's pretty cool.
It's true.
Hey, everybody. This is
football.
Football.
It's true.
So, how's it going? New week of football. We're on the
great.
Pretty good.
It's going great.
Terrible. I hate football.
Well, it's going good for two of us, I think.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I don't know. So, week 13, folks. We're flying through this season.
Yeah, really.
The playoff picture is upon us.
It is.
Oh, God, it really is. Oh, God damn it. The season's almost over now.
Yeah.
It's annoying.
Got like 2 months left.
Yeah, we only got like 2 months left. That's like 2 months. So, a lot of stuff happened. Let's see in the news. Josh Jacobs not expected to practice much calf strain.
That stinks.
That's not good. Bears safety Eddie Jackson has a Lisfranc injury, which is never good.
Yeah.
It's real bad.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
Yeah. Lacerated kidney for the Eagles corner. What's his name? CJ Gardner-Johnson.
You can just walk that off.
Yeah, just walk it off. Honestly, when he got hit on that play, it looked like he was just like a concussion, but man, lacerated kidney. Like, I can't even imagine just like suffering that injury. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, the little kidney's lacerated.
It just
None of us really do anything that stressful to cause a lacerated kidney.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, it just sounds painful just saving it.
Any laceration. I don't want any lacerations.
The wildest one that I hear in the NFL that happens, like, it's not super common, but it happens sometimes, is when people fucking puncture a lung and they play.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
you don't need both lungs. Come on.
Yeah,
that's why you have a backup lung, Rob.
That's true, I guess.
Kick it out of the trunk and then throw it in there.
Bears also placing Darnell Mooney on the IR.
Yeah, that really stinks.
That team is evaporated.
They sure are.
Well, I mean, at this point, they might as well not rush anybody back, right?
It's you saw what you needed to with Justin Fields. Like, he's good. And you're just, the season's over, especially if he's injured. Just like go for the draft picks at this point,
Yeah, exactly.
Packers waiving safety Jonathan Abram. Wow, who would have guessed that? I did.
Why would they do that, Coach?
I don't know. It's almost like he's not good. It's because it's his second time getting cut in like 3 weeks.
And might be a contracty kind of thing.
Yeah, that's true too. Vikings rookie Andrew Booth done for the season. This is the time of the season where people are really starting to get worn down. And Aaron Rodgers, speaking of injuries, had a good news with his scan and says he plans on playing this week, which I actually really wanted to watch Jordan Love play, but here we are.
It feels like the Packers fan base is kind of done with Rodgers now at this point.
More than kind of.
I mean, this dude came into the game and he just like made the throws he had to make. Like I think what gets frustrating with Rodgers is he'll like try to make big plays happen, which like it was fun back in the day, and like he had the Patrick Mahomes ability back in the day. Like he was the Patrick Mahomes before Mahomes. And then now he's just kind of like trying to force things in. He doesn't trust receivers. Like Love comes in, he's just like, "Oh, the guy's open, I'll throw him the ball." And I'm like, "Oh my god, he did the thing where he's open, and he just throws it to him." So that was fun. Either way, I mean, I think he just wants to beat the Bears, to be honest, because he quote owns the Bears. I think it's like they're tied for wins all time against each other. So I think he just wants to be the one that like beats the Bears. He's like, "Yeehaw. It's in Chicago," and then I think he would sit after that. I think he'd be like, "All right, I got my Bear win," especially with the Bears are beat up as well. So, I mean, it shouldn't be that hard.
Yeah.
So, there you go. That's pretty much all your news.
Oh, there was that other Aaron Rodgers news, right?
Oh, yeah.
Tell us about that one, Coach.
Well, Deshaun Kaiser, if you remember him, one of our many quarterbacks we've had over the years. Apparently the first thing he's heard from Aaron Rodgers when he got into town was do your research on 9/11, which I can't believe somebody that would, talk about aliens, smoking ayahuasca, and various other conspiracy theories would say such a thing like that.
I mean, he's got to be media baiting at this point, right?
I don't think so.
I don't think he is. I think he is.
Nah, he's probably just stupid.
Yeah.
Are you telling me that players that did not go to high school or college would have a smaller education than those that did?
No.
I like if he.
But actually, he did go to college. He's just insane.
Yeah. I mean, if he could be playing an extremely 100% accurate tech bro libertarian, but I think that's just
libertarian.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's just what he is. So
yeah, I think so. In fact, I mean, I only went to community college, and look at me.
Yeah, you got an NPC and WoW, so there you go.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
that's pretty. I'm whipping cream.
I've never heard of you, but yeah.
That was supposed to be a surprise.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow, you ruined the surprise.
No one knows what that means. They could think that I'm jerking off, which I might be.
Right. Well,
subscribe to the Patreon to
now
find
you've
out.
ruined both things. You've ruined that and the podcast now.
And you've ruined our lives.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, everyone.
A long time ago, man.
All right, we had football. Yes,
So good week of football. Really good.
Very
week of
good week.
Actually,
of football.
horrible week of football.
Okay, well, in terms of quality of games, it was a great week of football.
Oh,
Yes.
I 100% agree. Yeah,
It wasn't.
Everything.
In one in particular, I would say.
Sure wasn't.
So the first one was Bills Lions. We had the Buffalo Bills squeaking one out there in Detroit. I was so happy with my Lions pick. I was like, dude, this is it.
It was close.
It was close.
I'll be honest, I feel like the Lions were the better team this game. They're not the better team, but they were the better team during this game. They just couldn't quite get it out in the end.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Josh Allen literally just was like, all right, it's a tied game with like 20 seconds. Let me just throw like a 40-yard pass. Oh, look, there we go.
Dude, look, I know that it's kind of silly, but because it's the Lions.
Right.
But the Lions are scary. Like, not necessarily, like, they're probably not going to do anything this year. But, I mean, next year? With, like, all of their picks and, like, their
They can get
offense.
real defensive players.
They have so many picks. They have the Rams pick this year.
They have 2 firsts and 2 seconds, and they're, like, good picks.
And they're already, like, one of the best offenses in football right now. So,
Yeah, I mean, I think it's only up from here for the Lions. Like, this is a team that, like, what was it, a year or two ago only won a game?
Yeah.
Right? And, like, now they're 4-7. They've been competitive in, like, every game. Like, even the games they lost, like the Bills game, the Vikings game, honestly, they should have beaten the Vikings. Like, they had that game. I mean, a lot of the games they lose, it was kind of like they shot themselves in the foot. So... either way, this was a fun game. Go Lions. Bills are Bills. By the way, Bills, first team to win 2 games back-to-back in Detroit since the Lions in 2016.
That is so sad.
It is sad.
Hilarious.
Then we had Cowboys Giants. I didn't really watch much of this game, but apparently it was kind of a shitty game.
Cowboys were just a better team in the same way that they felt the Lions were the better team, but like the Cowboys just finished it off. They played to the end, and Giants put up a fight. It was like a close game for the whole game, pretty much up until the end.
I mean, the Giants were stumbling. They really weren't moving the ball the second half at all. And I think that with Zeke finding a stride and Dak, outside of the 2 interceptions, Dak was looking good. Like CeeDee Lamb made some incredible catches to make some of those drives work. But I would say it was more dominating by Dallas than the Giants really staying in the game there. Like the Giants looked decent in the first half, but the second half they're like, oh, there's a second half. We can't do this. They just weren't moving the ball at all.
I think
they couldn't run it. I mean, who's able to run it against Dallas anyway? Usually,
Saquon was just shut down totally, and Daniel Jones didn't look like he had any clue what was going on with his receivers. But he was also not really throwing to anybody. Dallas also has good defense.
Yeah, the Giants' success really just does go through their running offense. If they have a good running game, they're probably going to win. If not, then it's like this basically.
Yeah, the top 5 defenses in the league are number 5 Buffalo, number 4 the New York Jets.
Let's go.
Number 3 the Broncos.
Yep.
Number 2 the Cowboys, and number 1, averaging only 15.7 points a game, is the 49ers.
Wow.
That's insane.
Yeah.
In the modern NFL, allowing 15 points a game.
And that's going to get even better now that they blanked New Orleans.
Yeah. Worst defense, if you're wondering, Detroit. Who would have guessed it? At 28 points allowed per game. Almost double the 49ers.
They tried to pull the whole Chiefs thing where we just outscore our opponent. We don't need a defense, but it turns out, no, you do need a defense.
You do, in fact, need defense.
If they get like just a middle of the road defense next year, they're playoffs, like for sure, and maybe even Super Bowl contenders, to be honest.
Yeah, I think so. Actually, where are the Chiefs? The Chiefs are like middle of the pack, which honestly, it's all you need to be.
There was a good I saw there was like somebody made a here you go, I'll post it in Fusenball, but there's a chart that someone made. Oh right, I can't do it this way.
Got a chart.
They made a chart of points scored, average points scored versus points allowed.
Oh, interesting here. All right.
Yeah, the Bills are obviously the strongest in that chart, unfortunately.
Eagles, Cowboys, Chiefs.
The funniest part is where the Broncos are, where they're not even on the chart.
They're
actually off the board.
Literally, someone said Broncos offense, let's hide. Man.
Yeah, they call that the Russell Wilson rank.
Yeah.
So very fun. Then we had the Vikings Patriots, which was a good game up until the end, where the Patriots just decided to not play special teams.
Yep.
And that really did it. Like the game, the Patriots were up by a touchdown. The Vikings were punting to them, and it was the Patriots were up by a touchdown. The Vikings ran it back for a touchdown on the kickoff. Then the Patriots got the ball back, didn't do anything. But then the Vikings got it back. They were going to punt, and then they had running into the punter, and then they went down and scored a touchdown. So it was just a series of just bad goofs from the special teams of New England.
Bill's got to be pissed about that one.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
The Vikings continue to be rather fraudulent. Except Justin Jefferson, who's just the best player like in football right now. He's absolutely insane.
He's so good.
It would be a shame if you had him on your fantasy team.
Yeah, imagine if you auto-drafted Justin Jefferson.
That would be the worst.
Just God. It just stinks. He actually has, so I know we haven't talked about it too much, but he's the type of records that he's getting from his stats. Or at least the class that he's being put in are like Jerry Rice and fucking
Randy Moss is drawing,
Randy Moss.
He's drawing the most comparison to Moss.
Yeah.
Now, like, if you compare him to Jerry Rice, he's not getting anywhere near as many touchdowns, but he is matching him in like yardage, which is pretty wild.
Yeah.
In his first couple of years or whatever.
Well, I'd say he's on like the same path as what's his name from the Bengals, right?
Ja'Marr Chase. Yeah.
Because I feel like they're pretty much they're in like their own league right now, the two like super young wide receivers.
Yeah.
That are insane.
Yeah, I agree.
So I mean that is pretty much the Vikings thing. It is just, once the playoffs hit again, I don't trust the Vikings. I just don't trust them. Like
neither do I.
Like when you put the Chiefs down, I could like confidently pick the Chiefs no matter who they're playing. Like maybe the Bills, but even then you're like, I can see the Chiefs winning. Like if you go Vikings Cowboys, it'd be like, Vikings Eagles, like Vikings 49ers, like
that is the thing about the playoffs though. I mean, like we were talking about it last week, even though the Chiefs are obviously like the best team in football, the Bills are like, obviously just, no matter what their records are, the Bills and the Chiefs are like the best teams, right?
Yeah.
With that said, we can't guarantee that they're going to even appear in the Super Bowl. I mean, they haven't neither of them have proven themselves to be like a Patriots-esque dynasty yet.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
I don't know if anybody's going to do that, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree. But we'll see. I'm going to see who's the hot team at the end of the season. Who's riding high into those playoffs? We'll find out.
Might be the Vikings.
It might, but I doubt it.
Or it could be the Dolphins.
It could be the Dolphins, honestly. I mean, Dolphins Texans. This was 30-0 at halftime.
Yeah, the starters came out for Miami. That's the only reason the Texans scored 15 points.
Yeah, this was a complete blowout. Texans.
It wasn't even close.
Yeah, no, it was. Texans ran for like 30 yards combined from 4 players. This really wasn't even a game of football, to be honest.
No. And it's not even worth talking about.
It's not.
Yeah, to be honest. I mean, the one thing that I will say though is that it is amazing how night and day this team is with and without Tua.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, remember when Tua was out?
Yeah.
I mean,
did not look great.
He's having a great. I mean, obviously they've improved everything on the Dolphins, but I mean, he's having a real breakout year, to be honest.
Yeah, he's good. He's really good.
And I hate it because he's in my division.
Yep. AFC East. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, let's see. Passing touchdowns. Pat Mahomes, number 1 at 29. Number 2, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow at 23. Aaron Rodgers, number 4 at 21. And then we have Herbert, Geno Smith, and Tua at 19. So, I mean, he's up there with, Justin Herbert, Geno Smith.
Elite quarterbacks like Geno Smith,
yeah. So, yeah, I mean, hey, he's looking like a top 10 quarterback. He should be this rate. I mean, he's thrown to like 2 of the best receivers as well. It's helping.
Yeah, that kind of helps.
It helps.
It does. Well, no, but that's why I brought up that the team was shitty when he was down. So like, I
mean, when you play quarterback, you have a certain working repertoire with like receivers. They're just guys who understand how you pass the ball and guys who don't. When they have someone brand new throwing to them, or someone who at least is not as experienced in the working relationship, it throws a cog into it throws a turd in the punch bowl, Rob.
Yeah, unless your name is Mike White.
Unless your name is
very
Mike
true.
White.
Very true.
We don't talk about legends of God.
We're almost there. Bengals Titans. This game was pretty much what we thought it would be. A really close game. Came down to the end.
Yeah.
The Bengals pull it out.
Yeah, this was. Oh, I remember. This had a controversial ending because they were. God, what happened at the end?
They were going to kick a field goal, and then they jumped off sides or something.
Yeah, I think
they
that's
blew
what
up the snapper. You're not allowed to do that.
Yeah, that's
right. Yeah.
Which I didn't know was a rule, honestly.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, It needs to be, because otherwise this long snapper is just going to get injured every single play.
I mean, even if they did get the ball back, they would have, had the chance to drive down and tie it. But it doesn't mean they would have. So I mean,
it was still very unlikely they were going to win.
So it's just they stopped Derrick Henry 38 yards on 17 carries. I think that's the real difference here.
Mm-hmm.
He did have 79 receiving yards, but still. Tannehill, again, quarterback. Tannehill being back and being able to actually throw the football.
Yeah.
Helps quite a bit. Who would have thought?
Yeah, so if you don't know what the penalty that they're talking about, by the way, is the long snapper, essentially he cannot be you can't just bull rush him like they did, and the Tennessee Titans sent two nose tackles like right on top of the guy. You cannot do that. To the long snapper. If it was like a guard or a tackle, it's different, but you can't do it to the long snapper because they're considered basically a defenseless player at that point. Because they have to have both hands on the ball. So they have, with those of you who've never hiked a football, you have zero balance for about a second or two while you're hiking the ball. And if you look at that play over and over again, they just blow
annihilate him.
Oh yeah, he gets completely annihilated. He gets totally pancaked. He wasn't injured, but like he could have been injured.
Yeah. When you watch the play, you see why the rule exists. Because it's just you can't do that.
He gets blown up. It's funny to watch, and thankfully he wasn't hurt. But man, you can't do that.
So close game. Honestly, this could be a playoff game. In the future. So that'd be a fun one. Then we had possibly game of the week. Panthers Broncos.
Yeah, baby.
My favorite part of this game wasn't actually the game. It was when Russell Wilson, after failing for the 9 billionth time, came off the field and said something to one of his defensive players, and the defensive player just fucking like annihilated him, like verbally, just went full volcano mode on him. Like,
oh no,
erupted.
I didn't see this.
And I was like, God, everything I've been saying about Russell Wilson this past season has been validated watching this. He just fucking sucks to be around. He's miserable.
Yeah,
Man.
He is.
So wait, explain this to me. He yelled at a defensive player?
No, he just said something. Like Russell, and I think some people were saying that he might have just said "let's ride" or something. I don't know if that's true.
That sounds like a meme.
Okay, so this is basically what Russell Wilson said, because he's either trying to spin it or he tried to defuse it. But basically, Mike Purcell came over. It was like Apollo said. He said something to one of the defensive linemen, and he basically went off on him. Wilson said that the only thing that Purcell said was let's effing go that's what Russell Wilson is claiming that he said, that Purcell said to him, and he said, yeah, let's go. That's what Russell Wilson said happened.
It didn't look like that, I will say.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not a lip reader.
Post game afterward.
There's the tweet if anyone wants to see it of the clip.
But
he's very mad.
He did not look like he was passing on a short "let's go." It looked like he was just like furious with him.
Oh yeah,
he does look mad. He looks, and then Russell Wilson's kind of like, all right. Like, he doesn't look like, yeah, man, let's go. Not look like that.
I think the head shake just before it happens when he looks over at Russell Wilson is indicative of. But you know what? It's hard to you can't know for sure.
Yeah,
could play it as he says.
Yeah, it's true. But either way, the Broncos are shitty. They're very bad. Yeah. They're not good. Well, their defense is good. Their offense just isn't, which we thought would be fixed with Russell Wilson, and it's not. In fact, Russell Wilson, when he got there, remember, the offensive line said, you're not going to get sacked here like you did in Seattle. Well, the most sacked quarterback in the NFL is Justin Fields, getting sacked 40 times, and Russell Wilson has been sacked 35 at number 2.
Dude, Justin Fields has been sacked 40 times.
Yep.
So much.
Yeah.
No wonder he's broken in half.
Isn't that he's among the top for his entire career so far, right?
Yes.
Hasn't he been?
Their line is terrible.
Yeah,
it's very bad.
Kill him.
That's why
he's gonna die.
Really shouldn't be playing the rest of the season. On.
I mean, when you're going up against Sam Darnold and he goes 11 for 19 with 164 and a touchdown, you think, hey, that's got to be a easy pick'ems, right? Easy lock. Surely his opponent won. You can't lose to Sam Darnold throwing one touchdown for 164 yards.
Sam Darnold also scrambled for a touchdown,
one.
fumbled it, tried to get it back.
Scrambled does not give that, is not the right way to say. He rolled into the end zone for a touchdown.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Rolling around on the ground, it was great.
I have never seen that. Completely legal. I have never seen that happen in my life, and it was the greatest touchdown
Admittedly,
I've ever
I
seen.
think it was the best move in the moment. I think he made the correct call to literally roll into the end zone.
You really did.
Apparently, they teach that now. Like, because apparently that was added to like pro days where they do like a 40-yard roll.
I'd love to be present for that drill, dude. That sounds like a blast.
Yeah, we did have roll drills, but it wasn't for 40 yards. No, when I saw that play happen, I was like, man, for some reason I could hear Darnold laughing, but in Rob's laugh while he's doing it, and it made me laugh so hard.
His face is so good when he does it because he's just looking at the ref the whole time. He's like,
oh?
Is it a touchdown? Oh? What do you think?
The expression that Sam Darnold has is perfectly personified by a little kid who found $20 and doesn't want anyone to know about it.
I mean, Sam Darnold, first start in forever. I mean, he's been waiting to come back. And don't look now, but he's only a game and a half out of first place, everybody.
Yeah.
Yep. Dude, I've said it before, I'll say it again. I like Sam Darnold. I think he's actually, he could be a good player if he's in the right situation. But
I mean, he's not he's probably the best thing the Panthers got. So I mean, might as well.
You're good to be a good player.
Deontay Foreman had 113 on 24 carries. Was pretty good. DJ Moore 103 and a touchdown. And this really just was the Broncos not scoring points.
Yeah, again.
The Panthers do also have Brian Burns.
That's true. Panthers actually have some good defensive players. So, I mean, well, they're still bad, but it's still a game and a half out of first place. So, then we had the Jets-Bears.
Yes, we did.
We have a report from whoever Hughes is. Jets.
Oh, Connor Hughes. Yeah, he's the worst.
Well, he said Jets quarterback Mike White is amongst the most loved players in the locker room. Players described him to SNY as one of the most genuine, real guys on the team. Mike White is the Jets quarterback until he, not Zach Wilson, does something to change that.
Okay. I need to briefly... So first off, in between last week's podcast and this week's podcast, Zach Wilson got benched. Okay? Yes. So we recorded that before Zach Wilson. I think he got benched the day after.
Right.
We recorded it. And in that time, the New York media has been vicious. I mean, just completely obliterating Zach Wilson. And I think I want to dial back my thoughts from last week a little bit.
I don't.
Right.
In that, like, look, Mike White's. I want to stick with Mike White. I'm gonna be honest. I kind of wanted to stick with Mike White last year too, but
Rob, I don't want this to go where it's going because I feel like it's landing at let's not be so hard on Zach Wilson. And if that's the story here, come on, dude.
We shouldn't be too hard because the thing is, like,
let's not even talk about Zach Wilson. Let's talk about Mike fucking White.
Well, I do just because Connor Hughes is who you just quoted, and the Connor Hughes is the guy who kind of sparked up all this shit in the first place. Like he was the guy that said the Zach Wilson arrogance earlier in the season. Then he said, and then he did all this stuff, and then Rosenblatt came out with a tweet that was like, yeah, like Zach Wilson's like, why me? but it's like not. That's literally what Salah said, and it's like just a tiny soundbite. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Mike White is our Lord and Savior. He is more powerful than the coin. He has defeated it with 3 fucking touchdowns, 22 for 28 for 315 yards. Now, I just want to say something here, okay? Because I know there are a lot of Jets fans in the fan base that are like, well, the Bears defense was kind of shitty. Listen to me. Michael White, Miguel Blanco. He has played 4 games. 2 of them are literally better than any game that Zach Wilson has ever played, that we've ever watched him play in the 20 games that he's played. Beyond that people point to, last year what happened is he played that 1 great game and then he had 2 shitty games, but that it completely ignores exactly what actually happened in those games, which is that in the next game, and remember, he beat the Bengals last year, right? So the Bears have a shitty defense this year, sure, right? But he beat the Bengals last year, who were in the Super Bowl, okay? So then in the next game, he's tossing a bomb to Elijah Moore and bangs his hand against somebody's helmet, loses all feeling in his hand, continues to play the game, plays kind of shitty from that point on. Zach Wilson's still injured at this point, so he ends up playing the next game with his hand still injured, and then he throws 4 interceptions to the Buffalo fucking Bills. I mean, come on! You're gonna shit on him when he's got an injured throwing hand against, the fucking Bills? I'm just saying, people. It's funny how much people actually give status to draft position when I don't know. Mike White has shown over and over again that he seems to be the dude that can actually get the offense moving. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I don't know if y'all have said anything to this effect up to this point, but there were just stats flying by all through Sunday that were blowing my goddamn mind, that if you showed them to me 2 or 3 years ago, I'd be like, no fucking way. Not these people. Like the top 3 of the top 5 just performing quarterbacks in general this weekend, fucking Tua Tagovailoa. I butcher his name every time. I'm sorry.
Yes, yeah.
Trevor fucking Lawrence and Mike White. Like, of all of the quarterbacks in the NFL this week, those 3 are doing the best.
Mike White, baby. Miguel Blanco.
The legend of Mike White.
And yeah, sorry, go on.
I was going to say, the Bears, they are bad. They were without Justin Fields. They were with the Seaman Demon. Montgomery did okay.
They did pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, he did all right for, he did what he had to do. But,
we have a tough defense. I mean, him coming in with that shitty Bears team and playing, I think he played well.
Plus, I mean, what's his name actually played? Elijah Moore. Isn't he the one who's sitting?
He was our leading receiver last year, and he midway through the season when we had a winning record, we were like 6-2. He requested a trade. So there's things aren't going so hot for Zach Wilson here in New York.
Maybe he was holding out for Mike White. He knew.
I mean, he was laughing on the sideline, high-fiving Mike White. They kept shooting over to Zach Wilson every time he looked sad in a hoodie with the rain.
He literally looked like Anakin Skywalker.
Oh, they were trying to do to him what they did to Mac and Bailey Zappi.
Oh
yeah.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah,
they did. I mean, they did the same kind of shit to Darnold back in the day too. I mean, just.
I mean, people eat it up. I mean, I can't believe we're going for that route.
It was that part of it was quite funny. But look, I mean,
I'm trying to remember why I picked the Bears last week.
I am genuinely curious. Yeah, I kind of want to go on a rewind there.
I don't remember if it was because Rob picked it with the coin or if I didn't know that. Or if it didn't,
You're the most anti-magic of us, though.
Yeah, that's but I honestly don't remember if I knew that Justin Fields was playing or not, though. Because if I had known that, I probably wouldn't have picked the Bears.
We had a whole. I remember
there's a whole conditional pick debate. We made a rule based off.
Made new rules. Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah.
We get 2. Mm-hmm. Either way, Mike White season.
Yep.
Mike White season, baby.
Commanders, Falcons.
How you feeling about that, Coach?
I mean, this was pretty much about what I thought it would be. I thought one of these teams would win by 1 score. I just, picked the wrong team.
That was a hell of a play for it to come down to, man. That
tipped interception.
Tipped interception, right? Yeah, that was crazy.
So, I mean, it was a close game. Like, this really could have gone either way. But
I think more than the game, we should highlight the result of this game, which is the NFC East is 10-1, 8-3, 7-4, 7-5.
Yep. That is actually insane.
Meanwhile,
look at the AFC
NFC
East.
South.
They almost mirror each other. It's hilarious.
I just want to point out too, there could be, there's a very real possibility that the entirety of the NFC East and the AFC East will be in the playoffs this year.
Yeah,
That is possible.
it is possible.
I will say though that I feel like
chaos.
they've heavily weighted divisional games towards the end of the year, so I'm
Yeah.
imagining a
True,
lot of this will
yeah.
shake out.
They usually do
differently.
that, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of wild this year though. I feel like there was a team that's playing the same team twice with a bye week in the middle, which I'm like, that's wild. Who's doing that?
It might be the Commanders Giants. Hold on, Commanders Giants play this week.
It was the Cardinals.
Oh, is it the Cardinals?
Pretty sure it was the Cardinals.
Wait, I don't know.
So I remember them talking.
do that last year.
They played Seattle. I remember them talking
it's,
about.
it's Commanders Giants as well. Commanders Giants play this week, then the Commanders have a bye week, and then the Commanders play the Giants again.
Oh, okay.
That's weird.
Yeah,
That is weird.
I don't like that. I don't think that should be a thing.
Yeah, that's like
Yeah.
baseball, dude.
It is kind of like baseball.
Yeah.
But here, you
Or-
know what? Taylor Heineke still
Taylor
getting it
Heineke.
done.
Man, barely though.
Like
He did well in that one game, and now he's getting it done, but I wouldn't say he's been impressive doing it.
Well,
but, I mean,
he's I still don't trust him like every game, but he's
I love
He's
Heineke in
better
the
than
2-minute
Wentz.
drill. Like I like him
Yeah.
in the clutch.
I agree with that.
There was only.
It is also the Commanders,
Yeah.
Is this stat right? I need to stop looking at NFL.com for the stat because
yeah, they're horrible.
they're missing players all over the place. Like
Oh yeah, it's
But-
it's every game.
they're saying that there was only one sack in this game.
Dude, it's hilarious that the official
was.
site is like one of the worst sites you can go to on the internet
It
for
is funny.
NFL statistics.
It really
there
is.
was
And,
only one sack that game.
Yeah,
Wow. There you go.
only one sack. Brian
Yeah.
Robinson had 105 yards on 18 carries. That's pretty good.
Like every other site presents things so much more elegantly, and that site is just fucking riddled with nonsense.
The thing that's silly about it too is like you can go on like a week later and it's not fixed. Like they don't
Yeah.
fix the stats. They,
Well, that was
they
the
send
one
it
that
out,
had what was the QB that had the missing image? Was that Mike White or was
Mike
that
White. It was Mike White.
It was Mike White.
bro.
Yeah.
Right? And I think Zach Wilson too. Like
Yeah,
for
I
a
think
while.
both of them.
So the best part about all this is that I was going to make a joke about the only receiving touchdown for the only receiver who got a touchdown for the Falcons has the most unique way to spell Michael I've ever seen. But if you click on his name on NFL.com, he just doesn't exist apparently.
Yep. No.
He spells his name M-Y uppercase C-O-L-E.
Michael.
Michael.
Yep.
Michael.
That's pretty cool.
That's fun.
Pruitt.
Who
Yeah.
had Michael Pruitt on their team? Anybody? Anybody?
No.
And a whole 8 points? Anybody?
Yeah.
But I mean, Falcons still only half a game out of first somehow.
Yeah.
So that's a thing. And
And the reason why is
the Tampa Bay Buccaneers lose to the Elves in overtime.
All right.
Yeah.
Here we go. Because I
take it away,
saved a
'cause
lot.
I'd do it if you wouldn't.
I saved a lot of this from. I stopped myself last night on the quick snap
Yep.
from talking about this too much. But I did post a tweet that showed because I've got a couple of Bucks friends, right, personal friends,
Yep.
and they one of them was like, I told them I was like, Todd Bowles literally claimed that there was not enough time on the clock to use it for them to do anything in the fourth quarter. And he said, I can't find that. Where are you seeing this? And so I showed him the link, and the link that I gave him was the same one I played on the quick snap, where Todd Bowles literally says that there was not enough time for them to win with 32 seconds left and the greatest quarterback that's ever graced this earth. Now, those of you who don't know what happened, the Buccaneers let the Elves come back into this game, which should have never happened in the first place. But we can't stop a legendarily awesome catch by David Njoku, who made one, like, it was OBJ levels of insanity levels.
Like a one-handed back of the end zone.
You can't defend.
And I apologize to the Browns fans out there for making it seem like they didn't win this game and it was the Bucs game to lose. But the Bucs lost this game. They gave it to the Browns because of this very specific situation where they had 3 timeouts, 32 seconds left. They let 17 seconds go off the clock before they finally decided to call their first timeout. Keep in mind, the Buccaneers had three timeout, and they were holding on to it like as if like, oh well, yeah, we'll just save these for the next game. If they just roll over, that's not how it works, Todd. Okay, and then Todd Bowles infamously at the end of the game, when asked specifically about that, he said, "Oh yeah, those timeouts weren't going to make a difference. There wasn't enough time on the clock. We made a big play to Julio, and by that time, overtime was guaranteed." Todd. You are a head coach in the NFL. You're a terrible one at that. And people are trying to say, like, well, Tom, how come if Tom's so good, how come he didn't call a timeout? If you've ever played football, there are so many things going in through your mind, and especially with the game on the line and time running down, it's not up to you to call timeouts. You can't override a coach's decision. If coach doesn't want you to call a timeout, he's not going to call a timeout. If he wanted to, he would have called a timeout. That's just how it goes for football. That's just how it goes.
It's insulting too, because didn't literally these games want to happen at the same time, but it was the Thanksgiving game. It was literally last Thursday. The Bills had like 30 seconds, did they not?
Yeah.
They literally showed that actually you can very much have enough time with 30 seconds.
Yeah. And
if showed you can do it with 17 seconds.
If there's
it's Tom Brady.
If there's one quarterback in the world that you would want to have control of the ball with 32 seconds left and the game on the line, we don't even need a touchdown. We just needed a field goal.
Yeah.
We needed a field goal. Okay. And so, here's another thing. And I will put this squarely on Todd Bowles, because there's going to be people who are like, well, you just don't know what happened. We lost Tristan Wirfs for the entire season because the game went into an overtime when it should have never gotten to overtime ever. Because we had 3 fucking timeouts. There's no way that you don't call a timeout there, Todd. There's no way you don't call a timeout. I don't know it is such a loser coach mentality to say, oh yeah, overtime was given. Well, that time wasn't going to make a difference. He says this as if he just doesn't even care. Like he's trying to get fired. Get rid of him. Him and Leftwich both need to go. They need to go. Okay. And look, you know that I'm not on the conspiracy side of things. When people even on this podcast are talking about how games, they're fixed and blah blah blah. Like I'm the one who says, like, I personally don't think that happens. But what I will say is that when you see shit like this happen, where it makes no sense not to call a timeout when you have 3 in your pocket, it's hard to argue that what the hell is going on. Why would you not call a timeout there? There's no good reason why you wouldn't call a timeout, and it gets really hard to defend the whole, well, there's no match fixing, the refs are in on it, blah, blah, because I don't buy into that shit, but this pissed me off more than anything else I've seen Todd Bowles do. I mean, when I was watching this happen, I could not believe, and even the announcers were like, why are they not calling a timeout? There's no reason for them. There is no reason for them. With Tom Brady in control of the ball, 32 seconds left, 3 timeouts, you got to think, we just need a field goal. How are you not calling a timeout? Like, it's so hard to defend that idea that shit's not fixed in the NFL sometimes when you see stuff like this. And then Todd Bowles has such a non-reaction to it. And Brady being the ever professional he was, he didn't even, when asked about the timeouts, he didn't talk about the coaches. He didn't throw anyone under the bus. He just like, we just got to play better. Just standard cliche football bullshit answer. And it's like, I feel like that the Bucs just like, they for some reason think that they've still got the division wrapped up. It's not. Like, even with the Panthers are still in it. I mean, the entire NFC South is losing right now, and still anyone can actually take the division. So
they're looking a game and a half back, the Panthers and Saints.
Yeah. So bottom line, this loss is on the biggest problem, which has been this entire season, the play calling and the coaching. I cannot believe that Bowles is still the head coach right now. Honestly, I was talking to my buddy, the same guy who asked about the tweet. We were talking, and I was like, we were going through the list of coaches. I was like, Bowles is the worst head coach that we've ever had. Worse than Schiano, worse than Raheem Morris, worse than Gruden. He is the worst. And I don't know why we expected anything to change with him with his performance that happened in the Jets. He did nothing over there. He's not a winning coach. He has no winning record as a head coach. He's a great defensive coordinator, but he's awful as a head coach. And this put a highlight on why he is absolute dog shit at coaching in the NFL. He needs to go, and Leftwich needs to follow him.
Let's do
it's absolutely horrible.
A check over to our former Todd Bowles expert, Rob. Rob,
yeah.
What are your opinions on Todd Bowles?
I will say that what you were just saying about him not calling a timeout. That was one of the things with Todd Bowles on the Jets, where it was like, oh, we could go for it on 4th and 2. Up by the 10-yard line, and Todd Bowles would be like, nah, not interested. Oh, hey, there's a minute left in the half, and we're down by 7. And we're at our own 10-yard line. Maybe we should run a couple of plays. Man, how about a run up the gut, and we'll go to the halftime. And it's just like, oh god,
very conservative.
Yeah, it's just like. It's like not playing the game, and it's so frustrating when your team is already bad. I don't know. I feel you on that front. I wonder though, like how much control can Todd really have over the offense? Like that's the thing that I don't understand.
Todd's not control. That's the reason why Leftwich needs to go. He gave control of the offense to Byron Leftwich, who took it back from Tom, which is the only reason why that we even got to the Super Bowl run in 2020, and also should have made it last year, by the way, was because BA was like, yeah, we need to give Tom control of the ball. He knows better than he is our second offensive coordinator. Let him call it. And for some reason, Brady and Leftwich they're letting Byron just call all the plays. And it is not working. And people are like, oh, like Brady's washed up, he's old, whatever. Have you seen Tom's stats? He's still putting up decent stats, even with Mike Evans straight up just disappearing off the face of the earth after he got his record yards. He's like, yeah, I'm done. I'm done playing.
One of the craziest stats is Tom Brady has the most pass attempts in the NFL, but he is number 4 in passing yards, and he is not even in the top 10 of touchdowns, which is insane for somebody that's thrown the ball 470 times.
Yeah, and that's wild. And the Buccaneers, the more, which is another thing that comes up after the discussion of this game happened, was that when Tom throws more than when he throws for 40 times or more, historically speaking, his team performs much less efficiently than if it's an even attack between Tom and the running game. And if you look at the stats for the running game, there is no running game.
Yeah.
For this.
Yeah.
So, like the bottom line is that the Buccaneers, they do not deserve to win the division. As a Bucs fan, I'm saying that, but people need to lay off of Tom, because Tom is working with I've gotten on to him for looking like a toddler and throwing fits and hissy fits and yelling at people on the sidelines, but he's taking a lot of flack for this, which is not a lot of his fault. I'm certainly, like, I wouldn't consider myself a Brady apologist, because I've been on Tom's side for a long time, and I think that he does have bad games and he does make bad throws. He's not perfect. He's still the GOAT, though. But when you give him Godwin, Julio Jones, and Mike Evans, all three are healthy, all three are playing, there's no excuse why we shouldn't be winning any of these games, especially to bad teams like the Elves. Again, I don't mean to take away the victory from the Elves. Y'all won. Good job. David Njoku made an amazing catch, but Mike Evans gave up on this game, and he's given up on the rest of the season. He was 2 for 9. Mike wasn't even trying to play in this game.
Yeah, in fact, in the one route, was it overtime? It looked like he straight up just gave up on the route.
Yeah, he just didn't care. He just jogged. Yeah. That was it. It's like, dude, Mike, I like you, but man, it's starting to really shine through now that you just don't give a shit about this year.
Yeah.
I want to make one correction. We are now past our point of being able to praise the Browns at any point. That is no longer allowed.
Yep.
The week has crossed over. We now hate the Browns, and they suck, and everything
Elves.
about them sucks. Elves, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. By the way,
Yeah.
Jacoby the Brisket, actually pretty solid game, 23 to 37. He made the plays he had to make. Is his big thing.
I think he played himself into a nice new contract for a team.
Oh yeah,
I think
100%.
I think teams should want to have him, like especially some teams that are going to end up, because look, he's probably going to still be a journeyman bridge QB.
Yeah,
but I mean, there are going to be teams that are going to need a bridge QB.
I mean,
and
Panthers.
Jacoby Brissett's.
You go to the Panthers. You go to the Saints. You go to the. I mean, there's plenty of teams. You go to the Colts.
I mean, him on the
Back to
Saints would be
Colts.
really good, actually.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
For the record I was talking about, the way it was, the one I'm referring for Mike Evans was that he became the 5th player in the NFL history to record at least 10,000 receiving yards and 75 TDs in his first 9 seasons. He was the 5th player in NFL history to do that.
That's wild.
Well, speaking of wild, the Jaguar beating the Ravens.
Man, I hate losing a pick, but man, do I love watching the Ravens lose.
Boy, do I love winning the one versus everyone with the Jaguars. That was also maybe the craziest touchdown at the end of this game, where nobody even knew like what the rule was, because he caught the ball, got his foot down. I don't remember who it was. Was it Hasty or Marvin? It was one of the Jaguars receiver. He caught it, got 1 foot down. His foot came up, and then he got the same foot down again. So,
yeah, he double tapped it.
Yeah,
well, no, that doesn't matter. It's the shin. It was some part of his shin hit, and that counts as 2 legs or 2 feet.
Oh, is that what it is? The shin?
Yeah, that's what it was.
Okay, yeah, because like nobody knew the rule.
You reminded me now that I think that this should be counted as a touchdown. I think this makes sense, and it's a touchdown. But like, it's the same logic of like the 2 toe tap touchdowns that are called back, because like they tap a toe and they tap another toe, and then the first toe, the heel, hits out of bounds, but they tapped both toes first. That should be a touchdown to me. Like, isn't that a touchdown? But it isn't. Again, in the rules, that's not a touchdown. But here, where his shin, hits the ground, and then literally like the top of his shin hits out of bounds, shouldn't that also not be a touchdown? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. They need to fucking shore these rules up, because I think both should be a touchdown. Just saying, like,
no, they need to do some clarifications and what is a catch.
I do kind of think that it should be. I mean, granted, I think the offense has been given enough love over the years. With that said, I do think, like, how when you cross the plane at all,
the play
is a touchdown. Mm-hmm. Right. I think if you're toe tapping in the end zone, the play ends when you the play should end when you tap.
As long as you make the catch and the ball doesn't do any weird shit.
And the other thing, I don't like. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I care that much about surviving the ground either. Yeah. Like when they're doing the toe tap. Like if you hit the toe tap and you don't like survive the ground, I don't know. I don't think I care that much if he falls and it comes out of his hand.
I think you should still like. I agree to an extent that like if the ball moves an itty tiny bitty bit, then that should still be a touchdown. But I think if the ball flies out of his hands, like no,
but I mean, like you know what I mean, right? Like when it's imagine he's toe tapping and then he falls on his face, right? And then when he hits the ground, the ball squeezes out of his arms. I think that should still be a touchdown in my opinion.
I don't agree.
If it comes out of your hands,
yeah,
like, I don't agree with Apollo. I don't think that this was like a super clear cut touchdown, because to me when I saw it, it looked like the ball bobbled when he landed on the ground. If he had completed total control over that catch, yes, the shin is as good as a leg there, and that is a touchdown. But at the end of it, if you ever get to go watch the replay, like he he loses control of the ball when he lands on the ground. He still maintains possession of it, but it doesn't look like he's in complete control. But they already ruled it. The problem for the Ravens was that they ruled it on the field as a touchdown.
Yeah, so you can't.
So there wasn't enough to overturn it. But when I was looking at that, I was like, I don't know, man. That bobble, it could have gone either way, but there was more evidence to say that he at least completed the catch. But the process of falling down and then the ball bobbling there was, I don't know, but. It was admirable that Justin Tucker did go for a 67-yard field goal, and still almost made it.
Yeah, almost made it.
If it was 65, he makes it easy.
I thought
if it was
he did
66,
make it.
It would have made it.
It might have doinked in.
At first, from the angle that they showed, I thought he did make it. First, and because it was amazing. I can you imagine? What the Jaguars players were feeling on the sideline, seeing it go straight down the fucking middle.
That's the one where they squib kicked, and I made a comment. That squib kick was so stupid.
That was stupid.
Literally the only way you can lose the game is by squib kicking it there.
And see, I disagree actually, just because
I hear you.
Out.
I think you're wrong. If it is literally anyone other than Justin Tucker, you're right. You are correct. That was the right play. But that is Justin Tucker. You are basically saying between you're basically giving them one play to gain 10 yards or two plays to gain 30 or 40.
Yeah.
Right? I would take the one play for 10 yards every day of the week.
Where did they get it on the? Because they got it. Didn't they get it back at the 30 something with the squib?
It was the 30 or 40 almost. I think it was the 40.
Was it the 40?
Because it was because they got 10 yards, so they've been on the 50, 67 yarder. Yeah, it was on the 40, or at least close to.
Actually,
it was it was like the 34. I'm watching the highlight right now. Yeah, I mean, look, that is pretty far, but the thing is, the squib kick took out 4 seconds, so they only got one offensive play, as opposed to they could have been 10 yards farther back with a touchback, right?
Yeah.
And then they would have had 14 seconds, which is maybe 2 or 3 plays before you can give Justin Tucker a shot, you know? So Justin Tucker. but you know, I do hear you on the front that it's Justin fucking Tucker. He's probably the greatest
Lions
kicker of all
right?
time.
Like the one in the line, it was like 66.
The record, 66.
He almost made this one. He really did.
He was upset with himself because he can't. He's made 70 yarders in practice. He honestly makes that kick. Probably if he tries one more time, he probably makes it in the second attempt.
Well, I mean, it's important to note that this was on grass, outdoors, into the wind that he was kicking, and he almost fucking made it. That's just. Insane. I mean, he's the goat. He's the goat kicker. I think of all. He just is, and I mean that's just absurd that he almost actually made that.
But a 55-yarder in one game where it was fully raining and nailed it by 10 yards. I think that was the Jets game, wasn't it?
He was Zerline,
Zerline.
Then he's called Legatron. Yeah,
55-yarder in the rain, in the pouring rain.
Yeah,
with 10 yards to spare. It was ridiculous.
He would have hit 10 yards farther out, and it was dead down the middle too. He missed one later on in the game, but that kick was amazing.
Well, Tucker was already 4 for 4 this game with a 55-yarder. So he was.
Yeah. The Ravens are so overrated. How many times do I have to fucking say it, man?
The Ravens.
Their offense is not good. Their defense is okay.
Let's remember. This was all set up because Big Dick Doug Peterson went for 2 points to win the game.
Which I don't agree with, but, good on him.
Yeah. But honestly, Trevor Lawrence looked really good. Especially that final drive. He looked real good. Maybe the best he's looked in his entire career.
And Doug Peterson, he's a QB guy too, right? So he's
Yeah, this was a staple win for the Jaguars. They needed one of these.
Yeah, and this is a nightmare for the Ravens because they were in the driver's seat and now not so much.
Yeah,
fourth quarter lead losses in the Ravens. Name a better duo.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys saw Lamar Jackson was pissed after the game.
I did see that tweet he made.
Yeah. Oh, there was a tweet and he was like, one of the reporters in the interview was like, hey, did they tell you what happened last time you played in this stadium? And he was like, yeah, they told me about it. It was in college, and I lost then too. Fuck that shit.
Yeah, he was not happy.
Yeah, well, you know, when you lose to the Jags, I think I get it. I understand.
It's a little homophobic tweet, but you know, he's a football player.
Well, yeah. Well, yeah.
Yep. That sure was. You can look it up if you want to see it. Lamar Jackson tweet. Then, speaking of losing to bad teams, the Raiders won 40-34 in overtime.
Yeah, and I feel bad for the Raiders because like I feel like they need to lose out so they have no chance of McDaniels ever returning. Every game they win is a chance that he comes back next year, and it's like, oh god.
Josh,
he's just
Jacobs.
gonna, right?
What?
Yeah.
I mean, McDaniels, like they like him. What's his name? The owner likes him.
Why do they like him?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know why anyone likes him.
They were a playoff team last year. They were a playoff team last year.
Playoffs.
And they added Devontae Adams. That's supposed to make you a playoff team.
Yeah.
He's why we made the playoffs last couple. But Josh Jacobs, 229 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yep. Woo. And injured, unfortunately.
Which that doesn't help the playoff hopes.
Yeah.
Geno did all right. 2 TDs, a pick, 27-37, 328. Kenneth Walker had 2 TDs, only 26 yards on 14 carries, though. DK Metcalf, 90 yards. Lockett had a touchdown, 68. I mean, overall, this was just a good old-fashioned shootout. And they won it in overtime.
Yeah. It's still Geno season, I want to point out.
It is still Geno season. Very true. Also, the Raiders controlled the ball a full, 10 minutes more than the Seahawks.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's what running the ball will do.
Yeah, Kenneth, or what's his face?
Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs ran, 33 fucking times.
Yeah, that's like Derrick Henry number.
Yeah, that's hardcore.
You know, this was just one of those games. I thought it could have went either way, honestly, but Raiders pulled it out.
Are the Seahawks? I haven't been paying attention. Are they in position to make the playoffs? They should be, right?
They're in the hunt.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're
I hope they do.
half a game back of the Commanders for the third wild card spot.
Yeah, and a game back of the division for the 49ers first place.
Yeah.
So they can go either way.
I really hope that they do. I would love to see Geno in the playoffs.
I would too. That'd be fun. Honestly, I think I'd rather see the Seahawks than the Giants. I don't really want to see the Giants. I think I'd rather see the Commanders than the Giants, honestly.
Let's let Dan Snyder sell a team before they win a championship.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, they're not going to win.
They're not going to win. Yeah, I'm just
Careful,
saying.
man.
You never know. Yeah.
Yeah.
The teams that are peaking at the proper times right now are Dallas and San Francisco.
Yeah.
I don't know about San Francisco. They only scored 13 points.
Francisco's looking
but
pretty.
we'll get there.
I think we're too far out to say if a team's gotten hot.
We're just getting into the period of where it's time to get hot.
I'd say week 14, 15 is when we start seeing it really, pop up there.
Right now they got bedhead, they're
yep.
They haven't shaved yet.
I don't know about that.
Speaking of not shaving yet, the Arizona Cardinals. I don't know.
Their head coach.
25-24. Chargers.
You guys get so lucky on these freaking last second touchdown. The Cardinals should not have lost this game at all.
Yeah, just like 4 other games they've played this year.
That's what I'm saying. The
Cardinals
just know how to lose games.
It's also what the Chargers do, but it turns out when you put them both in the same field, someone has to lose in a dumb way. It's just required.
I cannot wait for this Hard Knocks episode to come out because I want to see Budda Baker cry on the sideline. I want to see Kingsbury give this hey, you know what? We played hard. We'll get him next time. We just got to go on to the next one. And I can't wait for Kyler Murray to not look like Grogu while he's playing video games on Call of Duty.
I haven't watched any of the Hard Knocks. What's Cliff Kingsbury like?
He is we found out he lives alone. He does that purposely because he wants to make sure that his mind is totally committed to football.
One of those.
Okay. Yeah,
he's got a super massive huge minimalist house that has nothing in it, but he makes it a point to not live with anybody. So the guy, he's kind of insufferable. I kind of hate listening to him talk.
Yeah, no, that sounds bad already from what you just said.
Yeah, but I will say that it is entertaining to hear him downplay any and all problems, and then he thinks that when he has to take control of something, he just starts cussing a lot, and that just makes it better.
Yeah, he sounds kind of like a dick.
Yeah.
I've never actually. No, I haven't watched Hard Knocks. I haven't really watched many interviews with him. But if I were to judge a book by its cover, I would say he strikes me. He's got like a really big frat bro energy.
Oh yeah,
him.
Yeah, very much so. If you like, that's almost any of the Cardinals coaches. And this is the only reason why I even knew about Coach Klugler, or whatever his name was, the offensive coordinator that got fired for allegedly groping a woman in New Mexico, is because Hard Knocks says that when they actually get to that part in the series, the announcer, I forget his name, the narrator for Hard Knocks.
Oh yeah,
he's like more news coming from New Mexico. So Coach so and so has been let go. More repercussions to follow. That's it. That's all they say. And then at the very end of that episode, Kingsbury addresses it, but it's a total sidestep. I'm not going to spoil what he says, but it's a total sidestep. And it's like, yep, okay, we see the culture there. All right.
No, I can't wait till next week and we get to hear announcers talking about a certain game and talking about some off-field issues.
Yeah,
yep.
Hey, like I said, maybe the Browns will hire him.
Yeah.
Kingsbury sounds like he's the guy who came in, another one of those young coaches, big offensive mind. And year one, they're like, okay, yeah. And then year two, they're like, okay, I don't know if he knows what he's doing. Now year three, he's just gone.
He thinks because he played under Belichick is that he is Belichick, and he's not.
Dude, okay, so I don't want to slander the guy because I don't know him at all, but.
Well, we don't know any of these people, but
that's true. Yeah. But what I want to say is
like
that
ESPN, Rob.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I think Cliff Kingsbury's got a tiny baby dick, and I think he smells funny. No, so but the thing.
This is where we distance ourselves from Rob.
But the thing that I was going to say is that because the Jets were going to. He was a candidate, right, for the Jets head coaching job, and so I was looking into him. At the time, he had a losing record in college. He wasn't even good in college. So I never really understood why he was a head coaching candidate. I know that a lot of people that's the thing, right? Is they were saying, young offensive mind, the Sean McVay type, right? Even kind of looks like Sean McVay. But I don't know. It was you getting a head coach from college who's never been a head coach in the NFL, and he has a losing record in college. I don't know. That just sounds to me that's a hard sell.
Yeah. Cliff Kingsbury, more like this guy shouldn't be the king of anything.
Yep.
Get out of here. God, you ever hear Mad Dog Russo?
No. If he's like a sports guy,
he's one of the oldest sports guys. He's just like, this is a Mad Dog Russo here talking. He talks. He has such a weird voice, and he did a thing where he argued with Stephen A. Smith, and it was quite possibly the most ESPN segment I think I've ever heard in my life. And he's like, you do not know, all right? It's just that's how he said. He's like a weird Midwest New York vibe. It's like a weird combo. He's got the Chicago, these guys, but he also has a bit of New York. He's like, you don't even know. The Yankees are doing what the... Just look up Mad Dog Russo. You'll hear it.
It's like Joe Pesci in that one movie.
Yeah, a little bit.
You mean every single Joe Pesci movie?
Well, no, but there's one where he's doing this Midwest Italian that's kind of... I forget what it is, but...
Probably Chicago.
I'll look it up.
These guys.
There's something.
We do here in Chicago. There's a lot of Italian people, Irish people, Polish people, and there's some other cultures here. Those are the main ones that were here from immigration back in the day. Did you know we have the second highest Polish population next to Warsaw, Poland?
Wow.
Oh,
there you go.
Tell
little history fact there for everybody. Then the Cardinals lost. They suck. The Chargers have won. And cool.
Yeah.
49ers Saints 13-0.
Whoo, boy. Was that an exciting game?
Glad I did not start Alvin Kamara this week. Thank God.
There's something wrong with this game to me. Like, I'm looking at the stats. Jimmy G looks like he had a good game, 20 yards, touchdown. Seems like the Niners are able to run pretty decently, or at least, kind of okay.
Yeah.
Good third down ratio. They turned the ball over twice. Time of possession more than 10 minutes, but they only scored 13 points. Like, doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Like, where are your points? This isn't going to work against a good team. It's not.
This is a weird game. Like, it feels like they should have scored more, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
They're both weird teams.
I honestly don't care enough to actually look at the highlights of this game because I can't imagine there are many highlights of this game.
I always watch them on 2x speed every game while we're talking about them. And I mean, I didn't watch much of this game, to be honest, because I don't think it showed up very often on Red Zone. And I mean, I saw a couple of them. It seemed like the Jimmy G was getting swarmed, and there was pretty much good coverage on a lot of the 49ers receivers, but I don't know.
Oh, didn't Debo get hurt this game? I think he did.
Oh, did he?
He did.
No, he had like cramps or something. He's been having hamstring issues. He's still playing though.
Oh, okay.
They did lose Eli Mitchell though.
Yeah, that's not good. They're starting running back, but they got McCaffrey.
Yep.
So that's good. I mean, looking at the stats, they had like similar penalty numbers. They had 4 punts each, 1 sack allowed each, but the Saints had 2 fumbles lost. So I'm just going to say that was the difference. Because why not? That's the difference. Hold on to the ball. That happened. Chiefs Rams, what was supposed to be an amazing game at the start of the season was easily one of the worst games. Bryce Perkins for the Rams was bad, but he also ran for 44 yards, and that was it for the Rams.
This is what's standing out to me is we're no longer talking about whether the Rams are going to be the worst post Super Bowl team. It's now just become that. Like, it's just a fact.
It's bad.
I'm gonna look this up again just because I want to know what is the bar that they have to clear in order
They're setting it. I think
the worst team I saw was the Raiders after they won 4 games. I think it was 4.
Was that in like 2002?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. Or wait, no, that was the Buccaneers won that one. But I guess maybe it would still be a Super Bowl team. So I don't know if that would count. So I mean, I don't know for Super Bowl. They might be the worst Super Bowl winning team right now. I think that they've already probably broken that record.
I want to see the worst record.
Isaiah Pacheco had 69 yards, nice, and a touchdown.
Nice.
Travis Kelce had 57 and a touchdown, and the Saints, I don't know where I am. The Chiefs just dominated everything. The Rams had 82 passing yards this game. So that's about all you needed to know. They averaged 3.6 yards a play. The Chiefs averaged 6 yards a play. And the Chiefs probably only tried like at a 70% level this game. They probably took some plays off. But,
Yep.
Then we had the Eagles-Packers, which was actually more competitive than I thought it'd be.
Just go ahead and click on the Eagles and the stats page, and then go to the rushing category, and then there's your game.
Are you telling me that our rushing defense that has been bad all year was bad against one of the best rushing teams in the NFL? I don't believe it.
But dude, this Hurts and Sanders combined. 300 yards.
Don't worry, guys. We drafted first round defensive players for the last 13 years. We got this one. Glad we
He
did
almost
that.
rushed for 400 yards.
Mm-hmm.
That's unheard. That's ridiculous.
I just watched his one of his early runs again with Jalen Hurts, where he literally broke 3 tackles on the play.
Honestly,
and ran for like 30 yards.
Who called him upgraded Justin Fields? Because that was
did.
on the money. Yeah.
I was watching him. I was like, this dude feels like Justin Fields, but more experienced. And I was like, this is probably what Justin Fields can become, is Jalen Hurts. Because I remember a few years ago being like, everyone was like, Jalen Hurts is like, he can run, but can he pass? And now, like, he can pass. Like, he's done it. Like, he's gotten there, and he's just a leader. He's a veteran. He gets out there. He does what he has to do. He can run insane, and, like, it shows.
He's an MVP candidate on the best team in the NFC.
Yeah. But let's not forget about the biggest part of the game. Jordan Love.
He's right.
Jordan Love came into this game and played actually pretty solid. Like, he made good throws.
Yes, sir.
Rob.
Yes.
Love was 6 for 9.
Nice.
Now, actually,
That's
he
like
should have been
the
7 for
6'9"
9.
position,
He actually
the
had an
sexual
amazing back shoulder
Yeah,
throw.
that's from sex, by the way.
That's sex.
It
yeah.
is. He actually should have been 7'9". He had an amazing back shoulder throw to Aaron Jones, who just dropped it. It was like right on the money. I was like, dude, that is a good back shoulder throw.
It hit him like in his face, didn't it?
No, it hit him right in the hands. It was like, it was perfect back shoulder. Like, he should have caught that. Then he actually should have hit Cobb in the end zone for the touchdown. It was a little behind him, but literally like a second and a half before he could even catch the ball, the Eagle dude just hit him. It was like the most blatant pass interference, and they were just like, I don't see it. So that was cool. But I mean, overall, I was happy with what I saw when he threw that like short post route or a slant route to Christian Watson. He just took it for like 69 yards. I just said 69 just to keep it going. I don't know what it actually was. That was like, dude, I was hyped. I was like, this is it. This is our future right here. This is the Love Watson connection.
That was Rob, by the way.
Yeah.
What are you? Who's what?
You guys ever done a 69 before?
What? What's that? Can you explain it?
It's with weed.
Let's not.
Really?
Yeah. Let's.
Yeah.
But overall, I mean, I know Jordan Love was probably playing against some prevent defense. Okay. He's probably playing against a little bit of a soft coverage. But he wasn't getting blitzed, wasn't getting pressured too much.
Coach he's really trying to sell Jordan Love here.
What I'm saying, what he showed was
He's convincing himself.
he looked better than he has in the years past, which means he has progressed. He's been learning.
Yeah.
Okay, he's still got the arm strength. I'm gonna tell you right now, he's only a year older than Justin Fields. Like, he's not old.
Yeah.
And we got to, I think what they're going to do his 5th-year option, and then
trade Rodgers.
They might trade Rodgers, like, straight up.
Can they do that with the dead cap?
If somebody wants to, they'd probably pay the money.
Yeah.
If they, like legit, I would rather they do. Like, after watching him, I would rather just write it out and see, like, let's see what this guy can do, and maybe he can be a future quarterback. Because right now, Rodgers is like win now mode. But guess what? We're not winning now.
I will say that Jordan Love does have one of the most hilarious autos ever. If you guys have ever seen it, he signs it with a J and then a heart.
Oh, that's wonderful.
That is pretty cool,
nice.
actually.
I was way more impressed by Christian Watson, to be honest, in this game.
Dude,
like, he's
Christian
showing out
Watson.
he's just it, regardless of who's throwing the ball.
Like, we have hit on yet another 2nd round wide receiver. Randall Cobb 2nd round, Nelson 2nd round, and Devontae Adams. He might have been 3rd round, 2nd or 3rd, but either way, we got another one. And this isn't even my sleeper pick. Romeo Doubs has been injured. So
he's no Garrett Wilson, but I mean,
Watson 6 touchdowns in 3 games. This dude's just flying out of the game now.
Up, dude.
So I mean, overall, like, I'm not even that mad about losing. Like, it was the Eagles. What are you gonna do? But Watson looked good. Love actually looked like he was pretty decent. And I really hope they play Love the rest of the season. I think Rodgers is going to play this week. Like I said, he's going to try to beat the Bears, and then they're going to go Love from there on out. I think that's what'll happen.
Dude, what I wanted to mention was fucking what? Maybe I shouldn't, because I bet I don't watch these games closely, but I bet they mention this as often as they can. Jalen and Tua used to be on the same college team, man.
Oh yeah, that is true.
They ended up benching Jalen for Tua.
They did.
What was it, Alabama?
Yeah, Alabama.
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 Bama sucks.
Yeah.
So overall, we're not making the playoffs.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Playoffs.
So
Somehow I might still be making the playoffs.
Yep.
The Jets might make the playoffs.
They got the best shot out of like any of our teams, I think. Well, maybe the Buccaneers, but it's pretty close. Then finally we had the Steelers Colts. I didn't get to watch this one. I was playing World of Warcraft. What happened?
That's where you were.
Yep.
This game should not have been as close as it looks. I think the Colts had like 20 yards in the first half, or it actually might have been worse than that. It was bad. Like I think they had 3 yards passing in the first half. It was really, really, really bad. And then
it was like 3 of 11 or something.
Yeah, it was abysmal. One of the worst halves I've ever seen. And the Steelers scored 16 points. Honestly, we should have scored more because we drove down the field every time, like over and over. Just drive right down the field, and how about just a field goal instead? I was like, okay, fine, whatever. We're getting points. That's better than what we were doing with Trubisky. We're just getting down the field. And then the second half opened up, and then the Steelers just went, fuck it, dude, like 3 and out. How about like 3 and outs in a row? Why not? Well, momentum, what's that? And our special teams just like, I don't know, just wasn't there. The Colts had like 3 straight returns where they would get to like the 40 or 50, which isn't like horrible, but then they got a return that got them down to the 10-yard line. It's almost a return for a touchdown. And they ended up scoring on that. The Colts got back into the game with like a couple of good returns. And the Steelers went, no, all right, we're a good team. We're going to win this game. And they started playing well again, and the Colts couldn't do anything on offense. Steelers drove down the field, got a nice touchdown with a 2-point conversion, and won the game. And it should have been a blowout. Like a good team under these circumstances would have had a blowout because man, the Colts were just useless for a pretty much every single drive that wasn't like. Even the drive they got 7 points, it was because of a kick return. Like they didn't even drive down the field, so they were pretty much useless the whole game. Jonathan Taylor, it was weird. The announcers were pissed. Joe Buck and Troy Aikman were like, they were trying to be like nice about it, but they were mad. They were like, why aren't you running Jonathan Taylor? Like they would run Jonathan Taylor, he'd get like 5+ yards, which is great per rush.
Yep.
And then they would go, okay, no, it's time to pass the ball now. And then they'd drop back, throw the ball. It'd either be an interception or an incompletion, or Matt Ryan would get sacked literally every play. And then they would hand the ball to Jonathan Taylor. He'd get like 5 or 6 yards. And they were like, why aren't you just doing that the whole time? Keep running the ball. What are you doing? I think the game would have been a lot different had they actually given Jonathan Taylor a chance, because he was running the ball well in the first half of the game. But
it's the same thing we were saying about the Colts right now as we were last year, which is like, why are you not running? There's literally a hat that says "Run the damn ball." Why are you not running it with this guy?
Well, I remember us joking about Saturday being the one to finally realize, like, oh yeah, we have these 2 guys that are actually pretty good weapons on offense. We should be using them more often.
Yeah, no, they didn't do it. It was egregious too, because like I said, like Matt Ryan would drop back and it would just go so horribly wrong the first half. But then Jonathan Taylor would get like good runs. So I don't know. I don't know. Jeff Saturday stuff. Kenny Pickett looked good. I think this is the first time a lot of people have actually watched him play, so they were like really, really impressed. But I think this is about what he was doing the past couple of games. Honestly, like he hasn't thrown an interception since the bye week, or since before the bye week. He didn't throw an interception during the bye week. That'd be impressive.
Yeah.
But
that's good.
He's still missing some reads. Like Deontay was like open on I think it was a go route or a crosser. I don't know. He was open and he was pissed because he would have walked it in for a touchdown like 60 yards if Pickett would have seen it.
Dude, speaking of Jeff Saturday stuff, the end of the first half, what the fuck was he doing? They got like a 45-yard kickoff return with a minute left, and they had, I'm pretty sure, all 3 timeouts. He did the exact same shit Bulls was doing, but at the end of the first half, when they had an opportunity to actually put points on the board, and they just didn't call a timeout for whatever reason.
That was the end of the game, I believe.
That was the end of the game. It was on 3rd down, and unlike Todd Bowles, Jeff Saturday actually took accountability for that. He said he fully regrets not calling a timeout.
Oh, well, good.
I think his timeouts were less egregious too, because while he did waste way too much time, they had to convert anyway, and they didn't convert. So
but he actually did take full responsibility.
Yeah, it was the wrong idea, but like it wasn't so obviously stupid as the Bulls one. Like,
yeah.
But yeah, I think the Steelers, this is what I've been saying. I think they're a better team if they can just get their fucking shit together and get rid of Matt Canada. Because my God, it's just I was saying, like, I know some of you guys didn't watch the game, but I was like, oh, you guys get to watch Matt Canada offense now. And it's man, all these little 3-yard, 4-yard passes. I mean, you look at Kenny Pickett,
it was a lot of fun.
20 for 28, like, he's accurate, he's throwing, but like only 174 yards and no touchdowns because these schemes are just never working. They don't work. It was really the rushing game that got us this win.
You've got to be encouraged about the future, though.
I think I've been saying it the whole time. Kenny can be the franchise quarterback.
Yeah,
like he has the skills and the talents. Just get rid of Matt fucking Canada, dude. He cannot be successful under that man's play calling. No one can. I want someone else to give Trubisky another chance, just because I think Trubisky looked worse than Pickett. But like, man, anyone's gonna look bad under this offense. It's just
it was nice to see Najee actually do something for a change.
Yeah, he's starting to finally show up.
I mean, he was injured, unfortunately, very early into the game.
And I also learned that apparently Booger McFarland Jr. is still in the league.
Oh, really?
I didn't know that. I mean, I knew that the Steelers drafted him, but like, I didn't know he was still actually playing until this game.
He had great runs too. Like the narrative right now, a lot of fans do not like Najee. They think that he's playing poorly, and he is playing poorly, but he's also injured.
Yeah,
his foot has been injured the whole time.
Yeah, he's been hurt.
So that's his excuse, but it's not a good look because Benny Snell. Benny Snell.
What a fucking
and Anthony McFarland came in and played well, and there were holes. They hit the holes. They did what they needed to do. The run game won us the game. So not a great look, but hopefully it's just his injury, and maybe he'll be back and stronger next year.
Hey, if you were in the NFC South, you'd be one half game out of first.
It was either the touchdown or the 2-point conversion that was Pickett to Pickens, but that was a good look, man. Like
Pickens had an insane catch too. It was an annoying game because Deontay dropped a touchdown pass that was right in his hands. Beautiful throw, perfect like back shoulder at the left side of the end zone. Like Pickett is throwing the ball.
I was sold on Pickett watching this game for sure.
He did have a couple of overthrows though too. Like he missed he missed his own touchdown with an overthrow that Pickens still probably should have caught. Like Pickens, he touts his insane, like he had just done it that game. It was a catchable one-hand catch, but it's still on Pickett for throwing it too high. But yeah, I think next year, look out. Not this year, but next year, look out.
Well, that is the games of the week's Invicta Power Ranking.
Thank you, Coach Krendor. Power rankings. We've got a new number one.
Whoa. Oh, shit.
As always, thank you to show contributor Dan Hanzus for day in, day out, every single week, putting in all the effort just for us, Dan. You're like Hippo and Pixel roped into one power ranking stat master here. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dan Hanzus. So top 5. On the NFL Power Ranking, starting with Robert, also known as the Alpaca Patrol.
That is me. I will give you the number 1 of the Tennessee Power Rankings. The Philadelphia Eagles.
Yep. Fair. Yep. Coach.
Bills.
Yep. Apollo.
Better be the Dolphins.
Oh, come on.
Dan, we're going to have a meeting. We're going to have a fucking meeting.
Rob?
Well, the Cowboys.
Yep.
And Bear.
Oh, boy. All right.
Whatever you say here is wrong because it should be the Dolphins.
I know. But how about the Vikings?
That is absolutely incorrect.
I know.
I think I know what it is because Dan always overrates this team. He overrates the Cowboys and he overrates this team.
Let's go with the... Oh, gee, this can't be the Bengals?
No.
I think
it's the Niners. It's the
Niners.
It is the
It's the fucking San Francisco.
They only won 13-0.
They didn't even win that.
Well, Dan.
Yeah.
Like, what's more impressive to you? The Saints beating them 13-0 or fucking shit smashing the Texans like 30-0 in one half
this is the
and
top
then pulling your
5
starters.
Like,
are you kidding me, dude?
No,
this is bullshit.
It's
this is actually bullshit.
Dan, we're gonna have a talk.
This is so disrespectful.
We're gonna have a strongly worded letter written
of
up
the internet
by the
is
end of
never
the
wrong.
podcast.
You cannot question it. You're just wrong. So top 5
so mad.
in order: the Philadelphia Eagles, number 1. The Chiefs falling from 1 to 2. The Niners moving up 2, Apollo, from 5 to 3rd. The Cowboys sitting in 4th, and then the Bills still in the top 5 in the NFL Power Rankings.
Beat the Bills.
And ranking the rest of the top 10, of course, are going to be the Dolphins, the Vikings, the Bungles, the Titans, and then the New York Football Jets.
Let's go.
New York Football Jets here.
I want you to know,
back in the
Mr.
top
Hansis,
10.
I never said an ill word of you, and
believing in that coin magic. And I have to read the write-up. I'm going to get to the write-up early here for the Jets. For the second time in as many years, chants of Mike White echoed from the rafters of the Meadowlands after a joyous Jets victory. The 27-year-old quarterback thrust into the starting lineup after last week's stunning benching of Zach Wilson, completed 22 of 28 for 315, Rob, and 3 touchdowns and 0 interceptions in the 31-10 win over the Bears at a soggy MetLife Stadium, while completed passes to 10 different receivers and fed the ball to the talented New York playmakers who have been starved for attention. Garrett Wilson put up 95 and scored twice 1 week after an emotional post-game outburst. Even Elijah Moore busted out of the witness protection program with 2 big catches, including his first score of the year. The 2022 Jets are a roller coaster. Now, here we go to the fattest doink.
Boy.
Bear Taffy. I'm giving this one to you, Bear.
Hello.
This team has fallen 7 rightful spots. They belong right where they supposed to be, but somehow are still in the running for a playoff position. Name this NFC South team, Bear.
Ooh, okay. Give me the Saints.
That is incorrect.
Oh.
Opening it up to Coach Crendor.
Falcons.
I didn't think that we'd have to go this deep into the guesses here.
I mean, they're all in the running.
Yeah.
Rob,
It's the Bucks. It's the
it
Bucks.
is indeed the Buccaneers.
Come on, guys. Did you not hear the tone in his voice?
Rightfully.
There was personal spite in what he said.
We don't have like expertise in social deduction games on the internet. All right. We're not looking for all those
Right.
cues.
Wait, hold on.
in.
Is it the Panthers?
It is indeed the Panthers.
I'm sorry. He ranked the Niners over the Bills?
Nope.
That just clicked for me.
Nope.
What?
Nope. The Panthers, the Tampa Bay Panthers, now sitting at the 18th spot, falling all the way from the 11th spot. The calendar is about to flip to December, and the Buccaneers still can't get their offense on track. Tom Brady and company labored through another difficult Sunday, managing just 17 points in overtime loss to the Browns. Tampa Bay had six 3-and-outs, including. By the way, I forgot to rant about this. I'll talk about it in a second here. Tampa Bay had 6 3-and-outs, including a 14-second possession that preceded Cleveland's game-time touchdown in the final minutes of regulation. Fixing what ails these Bucs will be a more difficult task without a left tackle, Tristan Wirfs, out for multiple weeks after suffering a nasty-looking high ankle sprain during the overtime period. Said Brady on his blindside protector, "It's awful." Quote, "It's awful. It's awful for us, and it's awful for him." Now, one thing that I will mention really quickly is that what makes the statement that Todd Bowles said at the end of the game and the post-game conference about the timeouts even more egregious was that this man thinks that the problem of this game was third down conversions. The problem
lost to the Broncos.
The problem
The Niners lost to the Broncos.
The problem,
Yeah.
Todd, is not getting to third down. If your team is good, you don't have to worry about third downs, and also not calling timeouts when you have them in your back pocket. Now we go on to the thinnest dink. This one goes to Apollo. This team has risen 9 spots. Wow. 9, going all the way up from the 26th position. Somehow, some way, this team manages to keep doing it despite having what we are usually considering is the worst head coach in the league. Apollo's favorite team name is 4-17.
Wait, you threw so many different modifiers that it stun locked me.
I have to throw you off.
Oh, worst coach in the league. It's got to be the Raiders.
It is indeed the Raiders. The Raiders moving up 9 spots from 26th to 17th. With the heart attack-inducing football plan known as, underneath Josh McDaniels. The Raiders, of course, knocking off the Seattle Seahawks. And finally, Coach Krendor, this one's for you. This is a humdinger, Coach.
All right.
Here we go. True or false? The Chicago Justin Fieldsless Bears are ranked below the Sam Darnold Carolina Panthers.
True.
That is correct. The Bears nearly had the fattest doink, now falling 6 spots from the 23rd all the way down to the 29th, falling to 3-9, of course, without Justin Fields. The only worst ranked teams besides them are can anyone guess it? Anyone?
The Texans.
The Texans. And there's 2 other teams that are ranked below the Chicago Bears.
The Broncos?
The Broncos and
the Rams?
The Rams!
Oh,
the
ouch.
Los Angeles Rams are ranked below the Chicago Bears, the Super Bowl defending champion Los Angeles Rams, mind you. And that's going to do it for the power rankings. Back up to everybody for the bonus stats, and then pick 'em.
They also lost to the Chiefs by 21 points.
Nope.
3 touchdowns.
Nope. Didn't happen.
I mean, you said they lost to the Broncos, and the Broncos are right around the bottom of the power ranks.
Yep.
Nope.
Not number 3 team though, Rob. It's egregious, man. It's egregious.
Here we go.
Is he from San Francisco?
Nope.
I wonder where he is
might
from,
be.
actually.
Nope.
Hold on.
I
We
mean,
gotta
maybe-
search this
maybe-
to the stat thing. Dan Hanzus.
To the stat thing.
Where's Rob?
I thought he was a
Stat
Jets
chip?
fan.
Is he a Jets fan?
I thought so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's.
Oh, it says
mentioned it in
he's.
the blurb.
Yeah, it says Westchester, New York. So maybe he is
Okay.
from New York.
Yeah. I mean, I would think that
Why does he
if
like
he's
the
from
Niners
Westchester.
so much?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Pick'em.
Pick'ems.
Well, I mean, bonus stats. Bonus stats.
It's all
Pick'ems and
tied
bonus
together
stats.
for me.
Pick'ems and bonus stats.
So here we go. Bonus stats of the Pick'ems.
I went
Another-
11-6. I just want to say.
I mean, I
this
think
week.
we all did, didn't we?
I went
Well-
13-4.
Well, I also lost my
I
luck
went 12-5.
because the coin was defeated. So
Yeah. So Apollo remaining in first, going 13-4. Myself going 12-5, a solid week. And then 11-6 for Invicta Rob Bear. Discord going 14-3. Randy going 5-12, and our assistant coach Never going 9-8.
it's respectable.
Not bad.
Hey, anything above 500.
Yeah, it's a nice Kirby picture.
Yep. With my big time picks this month, I had the best November in podcast history with a record of 40-17, the third best month of
game.
all time.
By one game. Look right underneath there. One game.
Oh, the old Elves and Jaguars bailing me out, dude.
Games that should have never gone.
Listen, they're just making up for the Lions. All right, Lions should have won. Okay. Yeah. Balancing act. Apollo and Sinvicta have been the best at predicting games between teams with equal records. Sinvicta and Apollo both.
Look behind him.
62%.
One game behind him.
There's Bear right behind him. I'm in last at 43%, 16-21. Yeah. Rob's
I'm not
also
doing
there
too
at
well
17 and 20.
Yeah, hey,
by
we don't
one
gotta- we don't gotta
game.
talk
By
about
one
that.
game.
One game. It's like a Seinfeld bit.
Yeah.
This is what we're doing now, I guess.
I mean, is this beneath us? Come on.
Giving
Yeah.
feast. Thanksgiving continues to be a good day for pick'ems, unless you're a
shit
coin.
earlier.
Rob 11-3,
Yeah.
Krendor 10-4, Sinvicta 10-4, Bear 10-4, Discord 1-1, Apollo 5-3, Randy 2-4.
Oof.
That's
Randy
fun.
really.
He hates
yeah.
that.
I did really bad last Thanksgiving because I was
Oh,
3-0
yeah.
this Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. Divisional labor locking divisional games has been much worse than non-divisional ones unless you're an alpaca.
Let's
Divisional locks 12 and 13. Non-divisional locks 39 and 19. Rob's divisional locks 4 and 0.
Damn.
That's 100%, baby.
That's very impressive. Divisional games, locking them is bold at all.
It is
almost a coin
terrifying
lock. Let's remind us.
seeing Rob as a turkey.
That is a great. That's a great.
That is good. And why you always lying? Krendor is the only one whose most picked team this season isn't the Bills or the Chiefs. It is the 49ers and the Lions.
By one game!
By one game!
My one game, Jerry.
One game. Sinvicta Apollo Discord 11 on the Bills, Rob Bear, Chiefs at 11.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
and I wanted to point out the graph because Randy, oh man, he's taking a nosedive.
he's taking a nosedive. He's not buying Kren stocks, dude. We are soaring. We are
The
soaring
coins. Mike White he's drained all the magical power from all coins across the world, and maybe that's the kind of thing that we need right now. The hero of the world deserves.
It might be.
Yeah, we need all magic taken away from coins.
Exactly.
Don't look now. I'm coming for Rob next. Look at that.
You
Right
are?
below.
Well, yeah, you are climbing.
Yep.
But I'm climbing a little bit. It's just steady. I'm
That's
incremental.
Can we talk about consistency? Because, man, look at that top bar, man.
That is. Well,
Can we
So you mean the Discord?
success for a second?
I just want to ride it. I expected it to all come crumbling.
You're doing well, yeah.
Though.
Very impressive.
Did you know that I looked in the mirror today and I said, you look handsome.
Yeah.
So,
you were right to do that because I
Thank you.
bet you did look handsome.
I did not know that. Thank you. So
I didn't do that.
You did though.
here we go. Pick'ems.
Big arms.
Pick'ems!
This week featuring assistant coach of the week, Carlos Alfredo. You can
Carlos
become.
Alfredo.
Why'd you say Carlos?
This is Carlos.
Yeah, you said Carlos. Though,
You said
and it was funny.
Carlos.
Yeah.
Carl.
You too can become an assistant coach of the week over on patreon.com/3guysandthebear, but really just click the link down in the description. It's a lot easier that way.
Yeah.
$5 tier, you get the Discord role and then contact all the people in the Discord, and then you can become assistant coach and get your pick'ems featured.
Woo.
Yeah. And we have some sound check stuff up there too, and it's good stuff.
Yeah. Patreon. Click it. So
Yeah.
Pick'ems. Here we go, everybody. Buckle up. First game of the week, Bills Patriots.
Bills.
Oh boy.
I like the Bills here, yeah.
I think it's gonna be a close game.
I do too.
I don't. You guys are getting fooled because the Patriots did well against Czech's notes, the Vikings, which we all know is a fraudulent team.
That's
So.
a good play. Give me the
Don't you
Bills. Give me the
fucking
Bills.
dare put me in that
Oh,
category.
But it's also a divisional game.
Yes, I have watched this division for a long, long time, and yeah, I mean, anything can happen with Bill Belichick playing against the Bills.
Well, Carlos picked the Bills. You gonna say Carlos is wrong on their first pick?
Oh, Bear, what was that site? Give me that site.
Oh, yeah,
Remember?
shit, right. We get to cheat now.
Yeah. Where's that site? We
Rob
found a
found the
site.
website
Yeah.
that tells us the results.
Yeah.
They see
Yeah,
into
we
the
could-
future.
You could search like this player versus like this team and
They
shit.
give you like
and
matchup
they're
stats.
Oh,
That's
interesting.
fucking wild. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really nice actually.
I don't have this website.
Wasn't
I mean,
there a
it's
bonus?
it's in the Discord chat.
Yeah,
Is it?
Isn't there a
like,
bonus
pin it?
stat that like going based off of individual stats is a terrible
Oh
idea?
yeah, no, it's
almost
probably
every
not going to
time?
do us any good at all. But it is fun
Yeah.
to at least like feel like we have the cheat sheet.
You know
Yeah,
what? I'm kind of feeling like the Patriots are going to win this one, so I'm just going to trust my gut and go Patriots.
I'm definitely going Bills now. Kind of tempted to lock the Bills at this point.
Yeah,
Dude,
I am.
everybody's every week now.
Yeah, but
but
your
you
first
pick-
game for some reason always loses. Like if you check back on all the weeks, it's like Krendor
that's
always gets an
true.
L in game one.
But then, what if I take the Bills? I can't even out.
I might have to pick the Pats. Yeah, you're forcing my hand here.
Oh God, I'm just gonna go
I'm picking
Patriots.
off of
For it.
empirical football spectator data, which is I watch lots of games, so I think the Patriots are not good.
I don't think they are either, but I think they can win this weird divisional game.
Belichick, the Patriots aren't technically out of it yet, and they need to win this game at home.
Yep.
But I do feel like the Bills are the better team, so I've got to go Bills here.
Like, if this was Bills at the start of the season, I'd go Bills. But this is like banged up Josh Allen, kind of banged up Bills. And I don't know. Like, after watching them against the Lions, I'm like, they're good, but I don't think they're like the dominant team at the start of the season good, especially in a divisional game.
I agree with that. But I think the Patriots are stinky.
I also agree with that.
I mean, I'm also taking the Bills, but you know, I think
it's coach for the 1v4 again.
Woo! All right. Packers, Bears. Give me the Packers.
Packers.
Yeah, Packers.
Yeah, without Fields. Well, Fields is still out, right? Yeah, so.
Yeah.
And even then, Darnell Mooney's out as top receiver.
Everyone's
defense.
They're done.
Yeah.
Carlos went with the Packers as well.
Yeah, the Packers love owning Chicago in Chicago.
Yeah.
I was hoping Jordan Love would play so we could start a new tradition, you know? But
I mean, I really want the Packers to lose this game because I think it'd be really funny.
It would be
I think
fun.
Aaron Rodgers would literally like
explode.
blow a gasket. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, right? Is that if they win, they still have a shot at the playoffs, right?
if we
But
win
they
out,
lose-
we have a 42% chance at the playoffs. That's a
So
chance. If you flip a coin 10 times, that's 4 times we're going to the playoffs.
Yeah, but keep in mind, all coin magic is now gone from the world.
Yeah, Mike White
God.
drained it all out.
No.
The people will rise up against the coin.
That one hurt him. Damn.
It's all because of Mike White.
That's he's got that power.
Steelers, Falcons.
Steelers.
Steelers are
yeah.
hot right now, but the Falcons are actually playing for the playoffs, which is a big difference.
They are,
they're
but they
they're
were
also
this week as
terrible.
well.
Yeah,
They
they're
still
terrible.
lost. I'm gonna go Steelers.
Trust me, I know this division better than anyone else.
I'm actually gonna go Falcons.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, I think. Look, the Steelers. I think they should be better, but they're still making mistakes, and they still have Matt Canada as their offensive coordinator. And the Falcons, I mean, they almost won a game against a pretty hot Commanders team right now. So I actually think the Falcons are not that bad.
They are.
No, I don't think the Falcons are that bad.
They are.
I will take the Steelers though. I think
Do I
the
have
Steelers.
a 1v4?
No, I'm gonna go with you and Carlos. I'm going Atlanta.
Okay.
All right.
okay.
I think it's
Carlos
going to be
also
a
taking the
close
Falcons.
game.
I think it'll be
yeah,
a close game.
I think so too.
Jets, Vikings.
Oh,
You know I'm picking
fuck.
Jets. Let's go.
This is a really hard pick because
this is the first time
This is
that
in
I
Minnesota, right?
haven't.
It is in Minnesota, yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick the Vikings. Yeah. I just I don't know. I'm going into the universe on this one because I feel like the universe hates fun, and I think it'd be really fun if the Jets won this game. And the universe hates that; doesn't want fun to exist. So it's gonna be the Vikings.
Rob, I interrupted you. What were you gonna say?
Well, I was gonna say is that obviously I lost my lock last week. The coin is dead.
Yep.
It has no power anymore. It predicted that we were gonna go on a win streak, but I can't know now.
Yep.
You have to make your own pick. How do you
It's
feel
like
about
it's
this
always
game?
been.
I think that Sauce versus Justin Jefferson is going to be a good matchup.
I'm so
That'll
excited
be-
for that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, that is going to be really exciting and interesting to see. Sauce is interesting because he kind of comes out of the gate slow a little bit. Like he
gets burned on the first play every time. It's
Yeah.
He's like
And that-
the
Bills
first
game.
play or two.
He's like the
Yeah,
race
yeah.
horse that's like slow and then they like finish real fast and they win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is only for like 1 or 2 plays,
Oh.
and then the rest of the play he just shuts.
It's not like the
your-
whole first half he's slow. He shows up in the second half.
Yeah. And then Mike White.
Mike White, dude.
Here's the
Mike
thing,
White.
because we didn't talk about this in the game or when we were talking about it, but Zonovan Knight came in instead of James Robinson because James Robinson got injured, and he fucking played really well in that game. And I don't know, man. I'm
gonna give my pick before Rob does, just so I can't say that I was influenced by him. Give me the New York Football Jets.
All right.
I think that defense is going to give the Vikings a run for their money. I think
I
that
agree.
Sauce is going to shut down JJ, and I also think that the Vikings defense is ass because it is, and Mike White is on fire, and Garrett Wilson is a monster. Give me the Jets.
And we blitz one of the least out of the entire NFL.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Also, the Vikings O-line blows ass.
Yeah. So I'm taking the Jets. I think the Jets can win this one.
Yeah.
See, that's why I wanted to give my pick before Rob did.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Jets too.
Woo! We'll see. Mike White.
I think the Vikings.
Yeah, you got the only Vikings pick, which is kind of funny because
I have a 1v4 with a 9-2 team.
Yeah.
Well, you're also the person who doesn't trust the Vikings.
That's really funny.
I just I don't trust Mike White yet either because
I trust Mike White.
The one good game and then he had the bad game. So I'm just going by that. He's gonna have a bad game because he had the good game.
My girl. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry, Jess. You'll never hear this.
Next game.
All right, Jaguars Lions.
Give me those Detroit Lions.
Dude, how about Carlos with the spicy Lions lock though? I love it.
Lions lock? Okay.
Yeah.
This is like the game between.
Yeah, but the Jaguars are looking pretty hot right now. They just beat the Ravens.
Yeah.
This is like
how
the
good
game
is the
between
Jaguars' defense?
They're really good.
The Ravens beat the Ravens. Let's make sure we get that one clear on that one.
Yeah. We didn't talk about that either. I wanted to mention, the Ravens have one of the highest drop percentages in the NFL right now.
Oh,
yeah,
interesting.
I think it's like number 2. Yeah.
That's what happens when you trade away your top receiver.
I hate to say it, but give me the Detroit Lions.
Yeah.
I'll take the Lions here.
I'm feeling Lions too, but
they're hot, dude.
There's no way now's the time Crendor doesn't pick the Lions, right?
You already picked them.
I mean, this is tough for him, right?
Oh, you did. Okay.
These are his 2 favorite teams.
That's what I was about to say. These are the 2 teams I always go with the upset picks with. But now they're playing each other.
The Jags are the upset pick, I think.
I think the Jaguars are going to win. And so I'm taking the Jaguars. I feel like they're coming off that big win.
Good
Trevor Lawrence was playing good.
The Lions.
No,
literally picks the Lions every week, and now when all of us pick the Lions, he goes, nah.
Well, yeah, I'm saying I think the Lions defense is the worst. And I feel like the Jaguars, they got the motivation. They're coming off a big win. And I feel like they're just going to show up. Trevor Lawrence is going to play. I think their defense is a little better. I think they'll win, 31-24.
Yeah, but have you considered that Lions are way bigger than Jaguars?
Okay,
this is Titans Eagles.
This has got to be the Eagles, right?
Eagles, yeah.
Eagles. Just do it. Just pick the Titans. And get it over with.
I think the Titans win.
I mean, that's a good. The Titans could. I think the Titans could win this for sure.
I think they could win, but I think the Eagles just. I don't know. Vrabel's coaching a great year. It's like the
Eagles' ground game
coach
is
of the year
nuts.
candidate.
But Titans also got a good ground game.
Yeah,
it's touch and go. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's real bad.
This is one of those games. I think the Titans will show up and win, and then they'll lose to like the Washington next week.
Probably. I don't know. I'm still taking the Eagles.
All right.
Carlos went with the Eagles as well.
All right.
Yeah, that's probably a safe choice.
Elves Texans.
Okay. Can we? No one make a pick here. Can
we?
Yeah,
fuck this game.
Can we, as a group, just all pick the Texans, please? That way, it doesn't affect.
I was already gonna do that.
All win or we all lose. We just need to put as much energy as possible into the Browns losing this game.
We can even pretend that Carlos picked the Texans.
That's true. You know what? I even think the Texans, they're going to play hard this game.
Actually, can we take a moment to point out that what was it? Calvin Ridley is suspended for a full year for betting on the games.
His own team.
Yeah, the QB of the Elves here happens to be that his suspension ends when he's coming back against his old team.
Just a funny coincidence, Rob.
Yeah, no, isn't that a funny coincidence?
What do you think? 11 is such a round, non-prime number. It definitely is like normal for normal people.
What are you insinuating here, Rob?
No, I mean, like you wouldn't think that the NFL is trying to rehabilitate the character of someone who's accused of doing reprehensible things.
Help me.
Really not. It was determined by math. That was a math number that they popped out.
Perhaps by putting him in a situation in which he could excel against the team that is, dog shit.
Excel?
Excel, yeah.
I think we should all pick the Texans. I'm picking the Texans.
Sure.
I was going to do that.
I agree with that. Yeah, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Texans,
Thank you.
But actually, as an aside, though, he hasn't played in 700 days.
That's true.
He
Yeah.
might actually be shitty.
I hope he sucks
I
ass.
will celebrate every sack, interception, fumble, missed pass.
I hope he
that
gets
there is.
14 times.
I hope I hope he gets injured. I actually do.
Who are we
He
talking about
deserves
again?
We don't even need to say his name. Let's go to the next game.
Voldemort.
Yeah, he's a stinky butthole.
Voldemort. Commanders, Giants.
Commanders.
Yeah,
I
Commanders are
will also
hot.
take the Commanders. Yep.
Yeah.
What do you think, Rob?
Yep.
Cowboys made the Giants look pretty bad.
Yeah, but the Cowboys are way better than the Commanders. You know what? I'm going to take the Giants. That was my gut. So I think the Giants will probably take
It's
this
at
one.
home. It's going to be a close game.
Yeah.
I think the Giants still believe themselves to be like a team that should be in the running for like a top seed here. So I think they're going to play like that. I think they might win this game. I'm going to go Giants.
Yeah. And again, like if Saquon has a good game, they're going to win. Yeah. Basically.
It's gonna, I think
we
it's going to
gotta-
be like one turnover or something.
Yeah.
We got
Probably,
a Commanders
yeah.
pick from Carlos here, so that's like an even split on this one. That's
It
good
is.
stuff.
I have a feeling this is going to be a very low-scoring game.
Yeah,
Probably,
I
yeah.
think so. Ravens,
Running
Broncos.
Dude, these two teams talk
I
about
hope the
not
Broncos
performing to
win.
expectation.
I am
'Cause it
going
would be
to
hilarious.
lock the Ravens.
Yeah, it's the Ravens.
I was
yeah.
going to think. Yeah.
Ravens.
I'm going to take the Ravens.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no one else has locked this.
Yeah, I realized nobody's
man.
locked, and I
Yeah,
saw
this
this
is
game.
lucky.
And I was
You know
like,
what? I'm
just...
going to lock the goddamn Texans.
Whoa!
Yeah, no,
okay,
yeah, no,
all right.
Georgie,
The
yes.
Houston
I like
Texans.
it. Respect it.
Yep.
Dolphins, 49ers.
Oh, I picked Ravens too, by the way.
I figured
have
everybody
to-
did.
Yeah.
My whole reputation relies on this game. I am locking the Dolphins.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, that is very true.
This is
Yeah.
the day
I,
they do special.
I expect them to win by 2 scores or more. I think they are the much better team. Give me the Dolphins.
I agree. I'm going to go
locking them.
Dolphins.
I'm going Dolphins as well. Carlos went Dolphins here. I completely agree that the Dolphins are just better than the 49ers.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm taking the Dolphins too.
They scored 13 points against the Saints. The Steelers scored more points against the Saints. The
winding up.
Steelers offense. They scored more. The Steelers.
Grumble.
I want to go Niners, but I can't because I do think the Dolphins have a much better offense.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
It's just
Debo is
too
also. I mean, Debo's not out, but Elijah.
He's feeling off, clearly.
He's not. Yeah, he's. I mean, they've been relying more on Ayuk more than anyone else right now, which is fine by me because I have him for fantasy. But
Yeah, which fucking sucks because I have the other 3 fucking offensive players on that team.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Dolphins here, but I really want to pick the Niners.
I want to mention I won my first fantasy game
Oh,
this
yeah.
year.
Look at that.
You did it! I'm
did
so
it.
happy for you.
You did it, Rob! Hooray!
He
Although I
has
left 2
done it.
20-point players on the bench. So
Hey,
that was-
same here, buddy.
Yeah.
I won this week. Actually, me and Sinvicta won, and the people ahead of us lost. So now we got a playoff race going.
Yeah,
Yeah, y'all actually have a shot.
my
Yeah.
team
I might make it in.
absolutely. My team lit it up this week. I don't know where that came from. Despite me, for some odd reason, starting Kenyon Drake, even though I don't remember doing that. Kenyon Drake got me 0.2 points. So thank you, Kenyon.
All right.
We have this week we've got the 7-5 fourth place team, and then TJ and NG are 6-6, and me and Sinvicta are 5-7. So it's like a big playoff
Yep.
battle.
Me and Coach are coming for
I wonder.
Yeah.
Do you think Patreon people would care like seeing our updated
No.
No.
stat?
I mean, that's just me, but maybe they would. I don't know. Like, it's worth propositioning, I suppose.
Yeah, maybe.
And
Yep.
I was seeing who I'm playing. Okay, wait, there's only like 2 weeks left
Yep,
in fantasy.
last 2 weeks.
And then the playoffs.
Yeah.
Mamma mia. I got to win.
I'm pretty sure if you two, I'm pretty sure if you and Sinvicta win your 2 last games, you're in the playoffs.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
But Sinvicta does have to beat me in week 14 to do that.
Yep.
How many wins do I have to get into the?
You'd have to reverse your record.
Oh, okay. So if it's opposite day, I can.
Yes,
Right, yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Seahawks, Rams.
Seahawks.
I'm blocking the
Seahawks.
Seahawks.
Oh,
That's a good lock.
Yeah, Seahawks.
Seahawks.
Yep.
It's like Eeyore. It's an Eeyore impression.
A little bit, yeah.
No, that's Crendor. Crendor can do the Eeyore.
Eeyore.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
very
that's
good. I
pretty
like
good.
that.
Yeah.
Chargers, Raiders.
Chargers.
Man.
They should not have won against Arizona. I hate the Raiders, but I'm taking them out of spite.
Wow.
I actually am going to take the Raiders, too. Oh, wait. Isn't
Uh,
Josh
Acceptable.
Jacobs injured?
What?
Isn't Josh Jacobs injured?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. No, I think he's out because he's on
really?
fantasy.
Oh, shit.
Hold on.
May not practice this week, but hopeful to play versus Chargers.
Yeah.
That would make a difference.
Well, you know what? Hey, give me the Chargers.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Chargers.
I'm actually maybe
didn't-
thinking of switching to the
I didn't
because if
know-
Josh Jacobs is playing, my fantasy is telling me that the Raiders have given up the 5th most fantasy points to running backs this season, which means their run defense is kind of shitty, kind of poopy.
Ooh, and they're dealing with Austin Eckler.
Yeah.
Yellow. That's bad news.
If he's iffy, then I'm going to take the Chargers.
All right.
He's
So
not gonna play
that's a clean sweep, including Carlos's Chargers pick, who also picked the Seahawks.
God, I
last
hate
game.
taking the Chargers.
Yeah.
Well, someone else took the Raiders, right? Someone
Nope.
didn't Crendor take the
No,
Raiders?
everybody
Nope.
Chargers.
I was
on that.
gonna, and then I
Switched it.
changed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chiefs, Bengals.
Oh boy.
Chiefs.
I don't think the Bengals have the magic again
Chiefs
after
are still
last
big
year.
brother.
Yeah, I think it's the Chiefs.
Yeah, Chiefs. Yeah.
Like Carlos took the Bengals though. What though?
Carlos took the Bengals, dude. He's
I mean,
like,
if they're playing at home.
It's one of those games where, yeah, I feel like.
I think this is a Bengals win. Let's go Bengals.
No, okay, I'm picking the Chiefs. I'm picking the Chiefs.
Let's go Bengals. Here we go.
oh god, yeah, I gotta go Chiefs here.
All right. Colts, Cowboys.
This would be a very easy lock if I hadn't already locked the Texans.
Cowboys.
Yeah.
Cowboys.
Yeah.
Be
Cowboys.
I thought I was going to have to
Careful,
race
though.
for this lock, but then everyone took their lock. And I was like, oh, okay.
I think the
I think
Cowboys
this-
defense is too good.
This one scares me. It's one of those two obvious games.
I don't even think it's an obvious game. I think the Cowboys got it.
Yep.
I think anytime you're playing against just
I know what I just
It didn't
said.
make any sense.
I know what I just said.
Sorry, I'm not going to let you get away with that
Don't
one.
don't let Coach try to confuse you with his
Completely
coach
meaningless.
log. It's not going to happen.
mind bended me.
Jedi mind trick, dude.
Yeah. No, I actually
No,
lost
your
what I-
mind
I-
melted.
I-
Yeah,
I'm,
there's
yeah,
no-
it's
When you
dead.
did it, I melted
I'm
in
like
my
the
mouth.
guys at the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark. My face is melting off. Man.
Yeah.
This
The-
is what Crendor does to you if you spin around him too long.
Now I'm gonna take the Cowboys, but
You're going to take the
Jeff
Cowboys.
Saturday.
butt?
Yeah, I'm gonna take
But
the Cowboys,
Jeff Saturday.
but Jeff Saturday is always a trap game. Always, I feel like, right?
Just
Been
perpetually.
Every game's been
Yeah.
one score. I mean, he almost beat the Eagles. He should have beat the Eagles.
Yeah.
Saints, Buccaneers.
Fuck. This is impossible. This is
I'm
an
waiting for
impossible
Civic to pick.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Bucks.
What do you
You
mean?
know
Me,
who
and-
I'm gonna
me, and,
take.
me and Crendor have been the Saints whisperers. The Saints
true.
You
Bucks
know who I'm
whisperers.
going
Yeah,
to
but
take.
the divisional for the NFC South, I'd
It's
take.
it's
Sim.
divisional. It's
I feel
divisional,
like-
and it's my team versus my most hated team.
That is
So
true.
Yeah.
I have to take the Buccaneers.
God, the Bucks have to win this game. I think I'll take the Bucks for that reason alone. Like they
That's
have
true.
To. If
They
they
do
lose
have
this
to
game,
win this
then
game.
I feel like their season's over.
I agree. I'm going to take the Bucks for that reason, too.
Yeah, same. I'm gonna go Bucks. Carlos went Bucks as well.
So, I mean, if the
Bucks.
Saints win this game, like,
The,
all
the
hell
NFC
is going to
South
break
will
loose.
just the NFC South is going to explode.
Yeah.
If the Buccaneers lose.
I think if this
Yeah.
game was like 3 weeks ago, I'd have picked the Saints. But I think because
Yeah.
the Bucks are literally like season
It's
hinges on
do
it.
or die,
But
dude.
here's
yeah.
the-
Yeah.
I will just say this. Here's the biggest problem for us is that we lost Tristan Wirfs.
That's
He
true,
is-
too.
Yeah.
Besides Ryan Jensen, he is the best. He might be the best offensive lineman in the entire league. And I know that that's going to sound biased coming from a Bucks fan, but Tristan Wirfs is seriously a generational talent at offensive line, and losing him puts the blind spot on Brady in a really, really bad spot. When we're already banged up because we don't have Jensen, and we lost Kappa as well. So like, yeah, but the Saints defense is not good. So pick with caution is what I'm saying, but I'm taking the Bucks.
All right.
Yeah.
So it's Randy time, folks. Randy time. Randy. Randy takes.
We gotta come up with like a rhyme, like some kind of Randy theme song. You know?
I'll work on it.
Yeah.
So,
just work on it.
yeah.
We need a Randy rap there.
Randy,
Randy rap.
Yeah, do a Randy. Oh man, make it like 6 minutes long so that we
In
have to listen
90s
to it
style. Like, oh yeah. Oh my god. It's already so bad, but I'm making it in my head right now. Oh
Hell
wait.
yeah.
Randy takes the Bills. Randy
Okay,
takes the Packers.
Right.
Randy takes the Steelers.
Okay.
Randy takes the Jets.
Let's go, Randy.
Randy takes the Lions. Randy takes
right.
the Titans. Randy takes the Elves.
Oh,
Randy.
cancel Randy.
Randy, he doesn't know. He's a coin. Randy takes the Commanders.
Well, he's not even a coin. He's at random.org or whatever.
Randy is actually Krendor's system clock. Is what...
Yeah. Randy takes the Ravens.
Yeah.
Randy takes the 49ers.
Oh,
Randy
that's
takes the
interesting.
Rams.
Wow.
Randy.
Randy takes the Raiders.
Randy.
Oh,
Dude, I'm
no.
just saying, Randy's taking all the teams that start with R.
Oh, I see.
Rander.
Raider. Randy takes the
Randy,
Bengals.
but no one heard it.
Wow.
Randy takes the Cowboys, and Randy takes the Buccaneers.
Yeah.
But Randy will lock. He's got a lock.
Come
2,
on.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I swear to
locks
God, if he locks-
did he pick the Commanders? I think he took the Commanders. So he's locking the Commanders.
All right, that's fine.
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who's the assistant coach locking?
Oh,
Lions,
Carlos Lock the
remember?
Lions. Yeah, we talked about it already.
Oh, right. Okay.
And that'll do it, everybody. Like, comment, subscribe. Make sure to hit the Patreon. Don't give us the subscribe Patreon. Give it the like, comment, YouTube lingo, comment, smash button. Yes.
I know the truth about JFK.
Oh, shit, Aaron Rodgers is here. We gotta go.